in the session 0. So, one of the first things is my expectations, kind of for this campaign, and just to reiterate some of the things that we've talked about already. So, just to remind everybody, we are planning on having this campaign be continuous. So, the things that happen in this campaign might come up in, somebody else's campaign. Anybody here can run an adventure. I'm not sure exactly how long we want to make these things. Probably just until the completion of whatever story arc we're in. But the main purpose is that we're all an adventuring group, and we're traveling together, and we're maintaining continuity in between those adventures. I believe we agreed on having the same.
Who are you, Austin?
We'll figure that out at a later date. But I believe we continued on, or agreed on having the same world. Is that correct? Do you guys remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that. Does anybody have anything they want to add to that guy?
No.
All right. So I guess the next thing would be my DMing style. So when it comes to me DMing, there's a couple things that I do and a couple things that I expect from my players. So first of all, one of my weaknesses is I don't give enough information. So I've been trying desperately to fix that in my own DMing style. But I want you guys to make sure that if you need any extra information, just ask me. If you need something clarified. I'm also not a DM that is going to push you guys around. So while I want to keep the story moving, at the same time, I'm not going to make decisions for your characters. So if there's like something you guys are stuck on, you need a hint or something, like, let me know if it's like a puzzle or something. But if you guys are just standing around, you don't really know, I guess, how you want to proceed, I'm not going to move you guys. It's up to you to make that decision. This isn't, Austin moves the gang around from set piece to set piece. I want you guys to actually play the game.
Austin and the gang.
And then, so I guess that kind of goes into who has done this.
God damn it.
I was going to make macros, and it just turned out this way. I thought how John immediately got on it, too.
I am missing out on it.
You can't, seriously.
I guess that also goes into some other expectations. So, I also don't have you guys just roll for like no reason. So I'm of the mind that your characters are highly able individuals. So that means that if you're looking at a wall, I'm not going to have you roll perception to see if there are, visible cave paintings on the wall or something like that, or markings or something. When you need to roll perception is if something is in the distance or something is very small at whatever you're looking at, things that would actually be a challenge, things that, in my philosophy, the die is supposed to represent chance, right? Which is what it is supposed to represent. So if there's a very incredibly small chance that you wouldn't see something, I'm not going to have you roll perception to see it. I'm also never going to link, well, I'm not going to say never, but I will very rarely link story progression to skill rolls, just because I don't want, all of you to fail a skill check and then we are stuck because there's no, nobody managed to do their skill check. Right. As far as there will be skill challenges, but not necessarily story-dependent ones. Like, let's say you guys are in a town and you're trying to find whatever next part of the plot, and you roll to, I don't know, there's not like a streetwise check in this fucking game, but in this edition, but if you roll whatever to try and find somebody, and you end up not being able to find that person, that's not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to dick you guys like that just because you didn't roll well enough to continue playing. Like, anyway, I guess to boil it down, I want you guys to make sure you maintain character agency, and you maintain, the actual integrity of you guys playing the game. I don't want to cart you guys around from set piece to set piece. And I want to make sure that everybody understands that it's not going to be a kind of game where I'm having you guys roll every other second for, like, minute stuff. As far as making rolls are concerned, I would prefer to tell you guys when a roll is, necessary for a certain situation. However, obviously you guys can ask me because I'm not infallible. For example, if you're trying to, I feel like perception is probably the most ambiguous one. So if you guys are, trying to look off in the distance and see something, you might see a guard tower, and I would say, okay, you see a guard tower now. John, roll perception. You can now roll perception to see if you see anything more than that on the guard tower. Or John can say, John can ask me if he can roll perception or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'll normally prompt you guys if there's something further you can do. But of course, like I said, you could ask. Are there any questions that you guys have for me as far as my style or what I allow, all those things are concerned?
I'm used to role playing with you.
That is true.
Are we going to be doing thing carry weight and like spell components for spells and stuff like that?
Right, so that's something we need to discuss. Are there any other questions before we get into that?
Oh, okay.
Where did Kelly put the K-Cups?
I wish I knew. Okay, alright, so yeah, Anthony's question then. So, how do you guys feel about doing carry weight and travel time and components for spells and all that good stuff?
I personally think carry weight is stupid because to me it breaks my immersion because it's like a difficult thing that I don't really want to deal with. I'm okay with carry weight to a certain extent, but I don't really want to have to be dealing with like all of the minute things. That is not something what I come to D&D for, so I don't care to deal with it. I think components and are good because that's kind of what the wizard's based upon, or other spellcasting classes. And I think that's neat, but it can also be difficult to deal with. So I'm in favor of. Oh, sorry, Josh. I'm in favor of components, less on carry weight.
Okay. Josh, you were saying?
I just want to weigh in, as this is really the first time that I'm playing a caster. I'm not at all used to components, since we've never used them in campaigns that I've done with you before, and I've never done a campaign with them. So that would be something that I would personally prefer not to have to keep track of. But, if that's the system we want to go with, then I'll learn it.
Okay. John, do you have any thoughts on it?
So personally, I kind of like them. They can definitely be tiresome of just God, I just want to play the game and stop searching for a gold bead in the shape of an owl. What the? That's not why I'm playing this goddamn game,
Right.
Okay, so I may be misremembering this or have or something, but I'm fairly sure that there are ways to avoid having to use them entirely, right? Someone correct me because 5th edition isn't my forte.
There are feats such as eschew materials, I believe. I don't know if it's called that in this game, but there are ways to avoid having to use components in game.
Right. Okay. So on page 203, it's casting some spells requires particular objects for material components specified in parentheses and the component entry. A character can use a component pouch or cast spellcasting focus in place of the components specified in the spell. So if you have a spellcasting focus, you don't have to have all of those materials. The only exception is if the materials have a gold price listed, or they're right. Yeah,
I believe so.
If there's a cost listed, or if it consumes the material.
Right. So, for example, like True Resurrection consumes a diamond worth 1,000 gold or something like that in order for you to cast it.
So I would be. Oh, it's a diamond worth 25,000 actually.
Holy fuck!
I just opened the book to that page. Anyway, my leaning would be that for most of the material components, we can kind of ignore them as long as people have spellcasting focuses, which most spellcasters can, just start with.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like that some of the more expensive spells, like True Resurrection, you do have to pay 25,000. Like it should, in my opinion, it should be kind of difficult to prepare for those really, really awesome spells. But for most spells, I don't want Josh to have to do I have a rotten egg or
I'm fucking useless in this fight because I can't find that fucking mushroom in the cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, being a wizard's fun. I can't cast anything because someone because I forgot to pick up a new set of spider legs and
Damn it! In town, of course I should have known. Should have picked up shards of broken glass on my way out. Okay. I think that's a pretty fair, pretty fair reasoning. One thing I want to say is that if we do have spell components, it's sort of I don't know. Spell components limit casters specifically,
right?
Which late game casters are sort of ridiculous. So that's not completely fucking ununderstandable. God, I'll figure out a better word for that later. But that's not, I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, I would argue that weight kind of limits melee characters and heavy weapons characters in a certain way. So I feel like if we have one, we can't really have the other because it sort of favors melee characters at that point, or just frontline fighters because they don't have that limiting factor to them. And obviously, weight applies to everybody.
Both or neither.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But here's the thing: is that we don't have to do a traditional weight system. As far as that's concerned, one thing I had been kind of playing around with, and I should have had something in preparation, just in case we did decide to go with the weight system, but I didn't, and we can figure it out maybe during this time or next session or anything like that. But I've always been kind of fond of trying the Diablo type inventory system in a D&D game. So, I assume you guys are all familiar with what that is, right? Jeremy looks perplexed.
Tetris.
Yeah.
No, I got that. I just was curious about how it would be applied.
So we would need some kind of PDF or something like that, just because obviously it would be much easier to do in person, because you could just get a little printout and then draw in the boxes. But like I said, I would need to find the whatever handout we could use beforehand to make that happen. But I've wanted to try that out. I think it'd be cool. The main thing is that it is a little bit unrealistic for like one dude to be walking around with like 6 broadswords and like 12 goblin carcasses, just carrying them around. Like, so I feel like there should be some kind of limiting factor there. I've personally never played with like a limiting factor, but if we are all going to be like adventuring, or if we're all going to be DMing at some point, I think it might be important to make it so that our characters don't just have an entire house worth of inventory on their person.
I like weight.
Anthony,
the only reason
how,
why I asked is because I never played with weight before, and I never sort of thought of it as like a big thing. I mean, I always just sort of kept in mind as my DM, yeah, you can't carry 10 sets of plate mail. But I was just looking at this character thing that Roll20 made, because this is the first time I'm playing on Roll20, and it counted a lot of your starting weight for you. So I didn't know if that's
Yeah.
experience with. I honestly don't mind not playing with weight because it is just a lot to deal with, and like I think as long as no one's carrying around 10 sets of plate mail, I think we're fine. And as far as components go, I've never used them before. I was always sort of hesitant just because it's a lot, and I always just sort of forget because half the spells do and half of them don't, and then the ones that do, half of them you could use an implement for. So yeah, I don't mind if we want to pursue that way because I haven't played with anything like that, so I thought it would be interesting to maybe have to consider that. But if no one else wants to do it, I honestly don't care.
well, you're not alone. I mean, I think it'd be cool to try those things.
I mean, then we could do
That
the same.
wasn't me saying like I want to do it. I'm impartial.
Then we could do the same thing. We can do where we have we trial base it like we're doing with wow, the other thing we're doing that on a trial basis.
Components.
No. Yep.
Flanking?
Yes, the flanking the flanking
Oh, right.
advantage. Wow.
Flanking thing.
Oh, we are doing that, huh? The +3 instead of advantage for flanking.
I thought we were.
Oh, what?
I thought we were doing advantage and seeing if we liked that or not, and then if we didn't like that, trying the +3, and if we didn't like that further, then just keep going down the line.
I don't remember what we decided on,
did
but
you guys do
if that's
before?
what we decided on, then that's what we decided on.
What did you guys do before?
No, we haven't. Well, this is our first time all playing together. Normally we would just play with
Oh, okay.
advantage, but
that sort of messes up the rogue sneak attack.
yeah, the rogue like gets sneak attack regardless of like it's just in, it's just in the
'cause
attack. You know what I mean?
They're adjacent enemy.
Yeah. Like they could have advantage or be flanking. So we're talking specifically about the flanking rules for melee combat, where you get advantage if you have an adjacent ally, or an ally adjacent to the enemy. But that advantage ends up being, what was it, Richard? +3 on average.
I think so, something like that.
I personally always like advantage because then you could just have another chance to get a crit.
Yeah, we're gonna leave advantage on for right now, or in for right now. And if it ends up being too OP, we're gonna maybe dial it back to just +3. But we're gonna leave
Has it been a problem before?
I've played games where it's been a problem, and I've played characters that specifically exploited it, but I'm also an asshole when I play this game, so.
For shame, Austin.
Revoke your
Alright.
license.
So, as far as weight and components are concerned, as far as the components for your guys' spells that are like not consumed in the spell, or don't require components, I guess, because you all have implements. I'm gonna just say that you guys all start off with whatever components you need for that, because your characters would probably have them. I would make sure just the casters, because I know there's a couple of you, go through your spells real quick before we begin, and take a look at which ones require components to be actually consumed. If none, then obviously don't worry about it for right now, but just keep that in mind when you're picking a new spell. How many of you, when you were making your character sheets, actually put the weight in?
It auto did it.
It auto-filled the...
Yeah.
How did you guys like drag items from the compendium or something?
No, if you do the character,
through the creator thing.
Oh,
the character mancer will autofill your inventory.
yeah, I didn't use that, but I also filled in the weight. So
You did, yeah. I was gonna say you have weight on your character sheets.
yeah, that was
What-
all manual stuff.
What a champion!
Just in preparation. All right, so what are the weight rules? It's how much can you
15
carry?
times your strength score,
15 times strength. Okay.
which is a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 10 times.
I just looked it up. It said 15. It might have been 10 before, but
Yeah. You silly boy.
So wait, is the under equipment on the character sheet is total weight the combined weight of everything, or is it how much I can carry?
That's how everything is combined. It does not show your carrying
shit.
capacity.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm carrying a ton of stuff. Holy crap!
It really should show your capacity.
So
It'll
it's
show you
15
when you're
times your
over.
strength?
John, oh man. Yeah, you are carrying for your little boy muscles.
What do you mean, little boy muscles?
John, how much are you carrying?
I'm carrying 113.
Wow.
Yeah, my carrying capacity is 210, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
You're
fine.
right.
Well, that's
But
a lot of
yeah.
stuff.
Fucking dude, scale mail is like half. I'm an armored boy.
My,
Goddamn 45 pounds. Holy fuck.
I know. But the AC is so much better than stupid leather armor.
It's true. None of you are actually like plate wearers, right?
No, I'm the tankiest person as the ranger.
Armor plate, really?
That's terrifying.
I'm hoping that Richard and I can tank this.
John,
yeah,
does
I would love that. Would fucking
the
love
scale?
that.
Do you still get your dex mod for scale armor?
You get 2 points of your dex mod, which conveniently is my dex mod.
That's okay. Oh yeah, you're like a melee thing. That's right.
Richard, that's my highest roll. So you just
That's your highest roll in
you can
dex.
stop shaming me for my 15s. I have a 15 and 3 14s. So like I'm really good, but I'm not an Olympian. Like I'm solid, way above the average person, but I'm not an Olympian. Like I'm still just a dude.
Nice.
Oh hey shit. You can see me now. Ew.
What?
So
I turned on my video.
if a component just says VS, what the fuck does that mean?
That means
verbal
it has a
and-
verbal
and
and
semantic.
somatic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Somatic
verbal is
is-
just you gotta make noise and shit, say magic words. Somatic is you gotta like flail around.
You have to make
And then-
the hand sign.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anthony, what are you trying to do?
The
with
ninja
your
sign.
Jutsu, yeah.
I'm trying to just set some macros or whatever, and then I keep accidentally hitting the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to double check.
He's trying to get your number.
Oh, I didn't know that was coming out in the chat.
Number.
All right, I have a quick question. There's all these playing cards on my screen. How the fuck do I get rid of these?
It's a stupid part of Roll20. And there we
No,
go.
no.
Austin took them away because
Ah.
Jeremy fucked it up. First session,
I
haven't
didn't-
even started yet.
I didn't fuck it up. Anthony did.
Don't blame the new
My
guy.
bad.
He asked
It's
about
not your fault, Anthony.
We were all
just
happy to
curious.
have them there, and they were just there, living a life, and fucked it up.
Yeah, so
Oh, God.
it'll say in the spell that the thing is consumed when you use it, if it is consumed. So
All right then.
so yeah, weight system then. Ammunition. Any of you use ammunition?
Yeah,
Yep.
boy. I'm that ranger.
Yo, boy. I'm
I've got
that
throwing
rogue.
stuff.
Yeah, Richard gets darts.
I'm trying
God,
to
I
get
really
throwing
I
daggers.
really don't want to have you guys track ammunition because that's such a pain in the ass. But
I mean, since none of us use a bow, I think it's fine.
I'm a ranger.
I
None of
might.
us have bows.
I mean, honestly, I might use a bow a little bit, but I don't mind tracking it for myself. It's just changing like one
Yeah.
number every time I attack.
And it's,
I kind of
technically
want to track mine, so I will track mine.
okay, then I guess I'd leave it up to you guys to track your ammunition.
Sick.
I mean, so think of it like this: like you're putting material components to balance spellcasters and weight to balance melee characters. So like balancing ranged characters with ammo tracking, like
Yeah,
seems fair
Yeah.
to me. But
that's true.
Oh, wait, so we are gonna do the components and the carry weight.
Yeah, for right now.
and we'll see if
Okay.
if they get annoying, then we'll just talk about it again.
Yeah.
Why is it saying I have 0 money? Where'd my money go?
Where's my money?
Do I not start with money with this background?
I started with money as a hermit, so
I started with money.
I'm
think
pretty
the only
sure they
one-
all start with some money.
I'd imagine so.
I think the urchin doesn't. Maybe they do. Maybe they
I
stole
think
like
the
5
urchin-
gold.
Urchin starts with 10, actually,
Wow.
which is more than a good number of them.
More than the hermit, or is the hermit 10 as well?
Hermit's 5.
5.
Outlander's 10, Sage is 10, Noble's 25 because
Outlander's
they're the
10?
1%. Yeah, Outlander's 10.
Your guys' starting gold is there's actually an equation for it. I'm pretty sure it's like I want to say that it's 2d4 times 10.
Austin, actually, I figured that out when I tried doing a thing. You could either choose the starting equipment from your class, or do that calculation method and then buy all your equipment.
Okay.
And I think there's a different little 2d4 thing for each class. Like some classes get like 3. I know monks only get like 4d4 gold. That's it.
Yeah. Fighters, Rangers, and Paladins start with the most. Oh, Bards and Clerics too, actually.
Well, they have probably the most to buy though.
Yeah, they have to buy armor and/or a musical instrument, which gets expensive.
Hey, Austin.
Yes.
So a couple of my spells, because I used like the new character creator bullshit,
Mhm.
they automatically assigned my spell attack bonus to them.
Okay.
Am I supposed to be adding that to all offensive spells?
No. So there's 2 different kinds of spells. There's spells that require a spell attack, and there's spells that require the enemy to save.
Okay, it added those to ones that I think should only be save though.
Let me take a look.
Like I'm only noticing it on the main page where there's
So
things
we're
that say
looking
+5.
at. we're
Don't
looking
say
at,
too much out loud.
I know. We're looking at the 3rd spell on your list.
I'm not actually sure.
The 3rd cantrip.
I'm gonna go back to core real quick, just so you can see what I'm talking about. In that middle section, there's some that have a +5 on them.
How
or
much does
+3
a-
or something?
How much does a bit
I
of
guess it's
fleece
really just
cost?
the one, but like that's
Does a what?
like I'm just a
That's
little
funny.
confused.
A bit of wheat?
A bit of fleece.
A bit of wheat.
Oh, fleece.
A bit of fleece. The fluff of a woolly
Of a bear.
lamb.
Yeah, so if you read that spell, Josh, it says make a ranged spell attack against the
Okay.
creature. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then the reason that
Like the fourth one down, I had to add myself because it wasn't in the vanilla stuff.
Yeah, so that one's a save.
So that one
Right.
wouldn't get it.
Yeah, a creature you see must pass a whatever save, or something happens.
Okay.
So yeah, any of them where it says make a ranged spell attack, that's you're rolling your d20 plus your spell attack bonus.
Okay.
All right. What were you guys saying before? Oh.
A bit of fleece.
Yeah, one of my things needs a bit of fleece. How much can I? How much should I pay for my bit of fleece, or can I just?
How many bits of fleece can you afford? Is that
Yeah.
what you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't know, John. They're like 6 copper per bit of fleece.
Shit.
Wow, that's fucking
Well,
expensive.
according to the
That's a
character
lot.
creator, I don't have any money, so
You have no money.
it started me with 0 gold, and I don't know why, but I gave myself the gold that it denied me. Oh, wait, no, did I start with 0 because of my dog?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what it was.
that's okay.
You should make your dog a sheep.
Fuck me, then. You're right.
Way less useful.
Yeah, but
Go
I'll have
back.
all the spell components for that one spell that I ever need. Also, I sent you a thing, if you could.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine, John.
Okay.
Okay. So I know some of us have backstories that are, near and dear to the heart. I don't know if you guys want to go over your character with each other. How many of you know each other? I guess let's start with that. So, if you want to introduce your character, you can. You don't have to tell us everything about your backstory. But let's just start and go down in order. So, Jeremy.
Jessamine Flora, herbalist. I will describe more when you actually meet said character.
Okay.
I technically only know John, but like tangentially.
All right, Richard.
Yep.
So wait, who was talking just then? Just so I know.
I was
Jeremy. Just
Jeremy. Okay. All right.
I was a super fucking helpful Jeremy.
I mean, Anthony, do you have?
I'm looking at roll 20.
Do you have the receive video and voice on, or just receive video?
I turned off the video so my computer could run a little better.
That's fair. So that defeats the what I was just about to say.
John, it's so striking to me when I see your face now. This is covered in hair. So used to you being a naked boy.
My beard's like really long right now too. I need to trim it back. It's getting like out of control.
Do what I do and just don't.
No, Obi, your root.
It looks more Obi-Wan when I trim it, actually. It looks much better when I trim it. I'm gonna trim it soon. Like probably tonight.
Right now.
on stream. Trim the beard.
You wanna do this?
Okay.
For those of you not watching at home, I picked up a pair of scissors.
The radio listeners. Okay. So we're just getting to who knows who before we meet.
Yeah, who knows who, and then just I guess you can introduce as much of your character as you want to introduce. If there are things you don't want people to know, then don't say them.
Before we meet? Okay. Well, my character is Tsurui Natsu. You can just say Natsu. He's a monk. and he wants to help the common folk.
Oh, that's nice.
So he's Robin Hood.
How good for him. John, your character.
Sorry, 1 second.
That was 2, 3, 4.
Richard, you're
5.
you were behind me.
Okay.
I was going. I would put up the next number as you did the one before.
Those were New York seconds, Jeremy.
Yeah.
So-
Right.
I'm Talus Integali. I'm kind of a foreigner around here, so I stand out a little bit just in like my skin color, my hair color, and my name definitely sounds foreign around these parts. I work as a town guard and forest ranger down in Hearthwaite. It's a good job, and I like it. Right now, I'm headed up to Brylf, and I've got my dog with me, my Mastiff. Physically, I'm a pretty like stocky, like built kind of person. I have a big beard, and long hair. I carry like several weapons on me, including a spear that I use as a walking stick mostly. Yeah. So I look kind of gruff and a little soldierly, but with like a bright smile and pretty friendly overall. And I'm traveling with my dog, and I believe that I know Jessamine Flora from, just having met her or seen her around. And
we have a girl?
we do.
It's me. I am the girl.
Who's the lady? Hey, how you
Jeremy
doing?
is the lady.
I on the way up to Brylf, because I've been on the road for a little bit now. I believe I ran into Natsu.
Are we agreeing on that?
Did
Oh, no.
Jeremy told me that you didn't want any part to do with me.
I did
or some
not say
shit.
that.
Yeah,
I said,
does that sound like Jeremy fucking with you, or like something that I actually said and didn't say to you?
What I said was I didn't want to be with the two of you because it would make sense for my character to have been alone, and if I wouldn't have gone with you alone. The only reason that I would have gone and accepted your company is if I was with John. It's very convoluted. You two are together. I'm not. Put it that way.
Yeah, I think that was the conclusion.
Sure, we met on the road up to Brylf.
Okay, so we've been traveling together, but also along this road, and this could be before or after you and I got together. I came across this this other character who was doing some weird shit. And so I thought it's probably best to not leave this guy roaming around doing bad shit. So I grabbed him and I guess probably like, I don't know, tied his hands up or something. I don't know. And so I'm kind of taking him to Brylf too, I think. Just to see what the authorities there, because Brylf is a fairly big town, right?
Yes, it is. Well, yeah.
If Brylf is a pretty big town, it probably has like a courthouse of some type, maybe a small jail. And so if this guy's like doing weird shit, like we should probably like figure out why he's doing this. And I'm gonna try and like figure out what's going on with this weirdo, who we'll meet in a second, I think.
All right, cool. Thank you, John.
But yeah, so I'm just a guy with a dog.
Liddy, Josh.
Straight out of the Underdark comes Naradasi Nulathran.
Can you say that again?
Naradasi Nulathran.
Okay.
Can we call you Nards?
No.
Nara?
Preferably not.
Nardog.
Nard dog.
And magic missile. Yeah, he's a wizard. Kind of looks like a drow. You're not really sure.
What race are you?
Some sort of elf.
Oh, okay. So
Kind of looks like a drow. All right.
Little pale for a drow, but nonetheless.
Anything else there, Josh?
It looks like he's got magic fingers.
Nice. I like an elf with magic fingers.
Like a card shark or like
A masseuse.
Little sparkly fingers.
hey, it's
All of the
Quest.
above.
All right. Anthony, your character.
Okay. Let me bring it. I am Rokir, right? Yeah, Rokir. I am a dragonborn. I'm a copper dragonborn who grew up on the streets. Not really. He went since. I'm going to tell you a little bit about his past since it's just going to become apparent very quickly. Since he was like an egg, his village was raided and captured, and he was enslaved by the Draugr, dark dwarves, and the Underdark. And he never has been on the surface before. He spent his whole life just sort of there, surviving, and then eventually escaping, and then sort of a large portion of his time just living in the Underdark, trying to make his way to the surface. And then after years, he finally sort of did. He's now on the surface fairly recently, like probably like a little bit over a week, and just wandering through the woods. He came across maybe like a small, just like guy who lives in the forest, like a cabin or whatever, or started just like eating some of his chickens or pig because he didn't really grasp the concept that was a farm. And then that's when John's characters came across him, and then was just sort of like causing all of this trouble, and then arrested me and started taking me to Brylf.
All right. Lit.
Did
Oh,
that
man.
come through okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me unserver you, Jeremy.
He is
I'm
a state
muting myself,
bronze
thank you.
dragonborn.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wait, sorry, what was that?
Nothing.
No, go on.
He's not just a bronze dragonborn though. He was bronze born, but since he's in the Underdark trying to and he was never exposed to any real light or anything, he sort of became tarnished. So he's a copper dragonborn, but he is the sort of like a green dragonborn, like the little coppery, sort of like a really rusted penny or whatever.
The Statue of Liberty,
Huh?
Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So except less all green.
So you're
But, yeah,
telling us if we were to
basically.
polish him, he would become like a nice coppery color?
How do you do that? Is it like it's like one part vinegar, one part water?
It's something like that. It's like
Yeah.
you gotta make sure you don't use salt because like that really tarnishes it.
Oh, really?
Jesus Christ.
It's good to know.
So if we throw more salt on him, we'll get
Um,
more green.
Yeah, if he jumps in the ocean, then he like just full on green dragon.
Pretty much.
But yeah, so I was like enslaved by Draugr my whole life, and then tried to sort of make my way out. I worked in the mine, so I'm not like super weak. I'm not like a little scrawny guy, but I believed my sort of free spirit and outlook on the situation is sort of what kept me going through there. And yeah, but I don't really like Draugr or dwarves or anything from the Underdark, so watch out.
All right. Thank you very much for that introduction. Thank you, everybody, for the introductions. Is there anything else anybody wants to add or ask or clarify before we get started with the first bit of the adventure? Is everybody prepared to play today?
Yes, I do want to clarify something. So like, for Dragonborn, if you just like paint them a different color, do they get the ability?
Jesus fucking Christ! No, Jeremy, they don't.
It's really racist. You can't just.
I'm not sure.
Horrendous.
Just look green.
Jeremy, you can't just like green face a dragon and make him into a green dragon. God
They're more
damn.
than just the pigment of their skin, the
Yeah,
scales.
god damn.
I mean, barely, but yes, they are.
Fuck Austin.
Barely.
Jesus.
That's their heritage, man. That's like
crickets.
This just in, a bunch of white boys play D&D and it gets racist real quick.
It determines their alignment. Listen, I'm not dragonist, but
It
metallic
sounds like
dragons
a dragonist.
are evil. Metallic dragons are evil. Okay,
No, metallic dragons are good.
chromatic
No, wait,
dragons
no,
are evil.
chromatic.
I don't know. I don't see. That's the thing. They're probably all evil. Better safe than sorry.
The only good scale skin is a dead scale skin.
Jesus.
Like I just want to point out that the creators of D&D made a the only multiracial like race in D&D with like actual different skin tones and stuff, and the black one's the evil one. Like let's just point that
That's
out.
true. That's true. Drow are evil.
Also, elves, all of them white except for the black ones, and they're evil.
Gary Gygax is a fucking racist.
You heard it here first, folks.
Turning
Hey,
into
John, what the
racist.
fuck are you trying to say?
I think my favorite moment of D&D was they went into a shop and then they asked who the shopkeep was, and I just said it was a black guy, and then they just lost their crap. They just didn't. They're like, "Where are you from? Who like? Where are your people like doing here?" And I was just like, "He's a guy." Like,
He isn't just a gentleman.
He's just a black guy. Just what are black people doing in my fantasy world?
This is a fantasy world. There's no black people.
Jesus Christ. All right.
But that's such a problem in so many fantasy worlds, though, right? Like,
Nah, he's just a red guard.
Oh boy.
Ah, boy.
Now you're making me think about the diversity of my fantasy cast, John.
good.
They're all like, it's the North. Why would any of them have melanin?
Don't worry, this
South.
is
Or it's the far South. I'm sorry. The
Yeah,
far South.
It's a good thing that places far south like South Africa and Argentina and Chile and Australia never had any black people in them. That's good.
Well, did fucking Antarctica, John?
not-
Did Antarctica have black
That's not
people?
wrong.
Are we in the South Pole?
Yes.
Or are we near it?
We're pretty damn close. Anyway, That's why-
Swap the E and the U and the last name.
we can't use cardinal directions here because it's really fucking confusing. 'Cause
Near the
everything's
south.
based off of south. Everything's backwards.
That's cool. We'll have like a upper lower Nile situation. Where like
Yeah.
Upper Egypt is the southern part.
NULE.
Right,
Cool.
right. I don't know anything about Egypt, so I'm just gonna agree. But
Sorry.
all right, is everybody,
Question: is the Underdark well known?
is it well known?
Do people know about it? Do common folk know about it?
I was honestly surprised that the individuals that said they were from the Underdark did. Thought that was going to be more of a close to the chest kind of thing, but
And where else is a drow going to come from?
I guess that's
the
fair.
Overdark?
Drowland?
yeah, the Underdark's a pretty sort of not. It's supposed to be like huge and like just another piece of the world, right?
I mean, people probably know that it exists. I doubt people go there very frequently, but
All right.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that it's like known. It is
Cool.
known. All right. Anything else? Anything at all?
Okay, so if Rokir is in my custody,
Yeah.
do I have all his shit right now?
I guess that's up to you guys. Did you?
All right, John's over encumbered.
Are you?
Take him now.
This walk to Brylf is gonna be real long.
Did
I could carry some of that.
Mostly, I'm just asking if Rokir is carrying weapons, and because like if I'm tying your hands and taking you in custody, I'm probably not letting you carry your weapon.
I'm multi-classed as monk, so I am the weapon.
Oh, okay. Then
So he's
No.
taking away your
He's
hands.
I
level
chop off
1
Rokir's
multi-classed
hands.
monk. All right. Well,
I took a
R.I.P.
quarter of a level in monk.
Can I take
Just enough to get the D4 damage you already get.
Can I take a fifth of a level in cleric to get the healing spell? There's one healing spell. That's it. That's all I need.
A fifth of a level and fifth level cleric.
I just want to be.
All right. So as far as that's concerned, I would imagine you have probably disarmed him.
Right.
That would make
Yes,
sense.
you've removed his arms.
Nailed it. Oh shit! He has a right to bear arms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have bear arms. He has dragonborn arms.
Oh, that's racist.
That's just factual, John.
Yeah,
It's not racist at all.
What do you mean bear arms? That means no clothing on them, right?
I don't know.
No, John.
I hate you.
the
I'm
arms
tired.
came from a bear.
Yeah. Scales is naked, right? Can a dragonborn just not be naked?
No,
Okay.
they're not allowed to be naked. Because then they got their big old dragon wieners flailing around. Nobody wants to see that.
They're dragon
I mean,
penises.
Enough people wanted to see that they made an entire subreddit for dragons fucking cars. So
Cars.
Yep.
Cool.
that's it. That's the thing.
Reddit.com / Alright. Everybody ready?
But
Sure.
Oh, alright, it's lit. Alright. Get ready for my pre-prepared monologue for the first part.
Oh, should I make some popcorn?
Ooh, one more question.
Okay.
Are we exclusively rolling on Roll20, or are we allowed to use our physical dice?
For right now, I prefer if we all rolled on Roll20 just so everybody can see it.
Fuck you.
I know. I'm sorry. If you want to simulate the experience of rolling dice, use the 3D die option.
No, those are weighted.
The weighted 3D dice.
Weighted virtual dice.
Alright. Oh, hold on. I'm getting messages. Okay.
Boop, 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 boop.
Before you get into your monologue, I might go heat up some coffee.
Alright, yeah. Go do that. Do whatever you guys need to do before we start. Because once we
All right,
start,
then I'll be right back. Like,
okay. I'm glad.
Ow! Don't bite my face, you fuckhead!
But that's what the tasty bits are.
Okay. Is everybody's connection stable? Are we good to go?
Who knows?
John?
Mine seems to be stabilizing, yeah.
Okay. So, here's this little speech I had prepared.
Speech, 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 speech.
Each of you has found yourself in the once prosperous mining town of Brylf. Snow covers the cobblestone roads of the town, as well as blankets the roofs of the quaint cottages and huts. Signs of wear in the stonework easily identify this town as being quite old. In fact, today, Brylf celebrates its 150th anniversary. The mayor has gathered up everyone in town, locals and outsiders alike, to the town square. Come on. Come on!
Well, John's webcam also disappeared, so...
Well, that's,
Come on!
Sorry,
Ow!
man.
Ow, don't bite my face!
Sorry, man.
Alright. What do you remember hearing, John?
It's a quiet town of Brylf, and there's snow everywhere. It was once prosperous.
Okay. Signs of wear in the stonework easily identify this town as being quite old. In fact, today Brylf celebrates its 150th anniversary. The mayor has gathered up everyone in town, locals and outsiders alike, to the town square to enjoy a... Okay.
Brylf!
Picking up from paragraph 3, subsection 1.
Action.
The
What
mayor.
page are we on?
The mayor has gathered up everyone in town, locals and outsiders alike, to the town square to enjoy a rousing speech and partake in merriment. Around you are numerous games, both of chance and skill, some offering gold, others offering prizes. In addition, multiple competitions are being held, including an archery contest, a strongman competition, and a hunt. If you're looking to lighten your load or perhaps your purse, numerous vendors have set up temporary-looking stalls, selling between them everything from weapons to unassuming knickknacks. So, your characters are in the town center of Brylf during the 150th anniversary. The mayor is giving a speech. You guys are free to partake in any way that you would like.
Do I see
What's
Talus?
the weather like?
Cold. It's very snowy. You see what? Talus?
Yeah, do I see Talus?
Everybody's in the square. It's fairly crowded. Talus, I assume that you're with Rokir, since you have him kind of, like hostage, I guess, or you have him in custody. Do you guys want to have arrived together, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Jessamine?
No,
Talus?
I would have just been arriving.
Okay. So, probably not. You can try to see if you can spot him in the crowd.
I wouldn't know he was here, so it doesn't matter. I'm kind of just trying to take in the sights.
Alright, what's everybody else doing?
Real quick, I just want to make a quick disclaimer. I haven't done D&D or anything over Discord or Skype or anything before, so if I accidentally talk over you, or I'm sorry. I'll try and yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Is the mayor speaking right now?
He is, yeah. He's giving a rousing speech about the 150 years of prosperity in Brylf. Even though, looking around, you can see that it's not quite as prosperous as it once was.
I'm just listening respectfully.
Okay, fair.
I take in a deep breath and enjoy the fresh air.
The crisp, wintry air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I'll hang back near the kind of the back of the crowd, and just kind of listen. But I'm as he's speaking, I'm looking around, eyeing the games and stuff.
Josh, what are you up to?
I'm doing essentially the same, listening to the speech, looking at what there is around me to do.
Alright, cool. So, the mayor finishes up his speech with a exciting and 150 more years of prosperity for Brylf. Hear, hear! Everybody fucking cheers and claps and stuff. And yeah, so the crowd is kind of starting to disperse, going to do whatever it is they want to do. Some of them are going to the hunt, some of them are going to the archery competition, other ones are visiting the different stalls and vendors. Some of the vendors have pretty intricate displays with glass cases and yieldy lighting and things of that nature. So now if you guys wanted to engage in any of the games or anything like that, you're welcome to do so.
I'm basically just gonna walk around, kind of standing back, I'm a little shyly. I'm kind of just looking around to see the various games, and I'm really trying to scope out like a tavern or like a notice board.
Okay. You are looking around. A lot of the buildings look fairly nondescript, but you can pretty easily pick out what looks to be like a large, tavern, kind of near the town square. It's got it's got all the makings of a tavern. The double doors, the large chimney, so on and so forth.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna like kind of remember where it is and keep an eye out for it because eventually I'm gonna want to go back there.
Okay.
But I'm probably going to start walking towards the archery one.
Okay. Richard, what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk around and just make small talk with anyone who seems a little idle. Just talking about Brylf, the festival.
Okay. You managed to find a rotund woman in Brylf. You two were making idle chatter about the mining. Do you have any questions? Anything specific you want to say?
Just general, like the festival's nice. Brylf seems like a nice town. How's it been? How are you?
No, Brylf's a nice enough town, but my damn livestock keeps going missing.
Do you know it from?
What?
Do you know it from?
Couldn't tell you. I mean, we're right by the mountains. Could be the Arks. Could be the Wargs. Could be the Wolves. Who knows? Who knows in this area? But we make do. Brylf girls make do.
I'm glad you haven't had it hamper your jovialness.
Aye, we've got to stay positive. As my accent changes.
That's just part of the accent.
Yeah, they're Irish Scots.
The feathers.
All right, John, what are you up to? What's up, Anthony?
I smile and look and take in my surroundings and say I like this place to tell and ask him where are we going now? Where are you taking me?
Well, got to figure out what I'm going to do with you. Honestly, didn't really have much of a plan here.
I'm pretty hungry.
Well, I don't see any.
That dog looks good.
What was that, Anthony?
That dog looks good.
I'm gonna give you like a death stare.
There's a couple different like food vendors lined up as well. If you guys want to maybe grab a bite for your characters.
All right, I'm gonna like kind of pull him
John,
towards one of those.
How tall is Talus?
Not like especially tall, like pretty average for a human. I guess like 5'9", 5'10", so like a little under
I'm like
average.
A dragonborn, so I'm like 7.5 feet tall.
Right. I mean, I'm like stocky. Are you fighting me?
No. I just want to put that in perspective that
Okay.
you're like towing me around with a little rope.
I cut out for a few seconds and couldn't hear what was happening.
You're hungry, huh? You want to buy your food instead of stealing it this time?
You have my gold.
It's a It's a good point. And how much gold might that be that I got from you?
5.
All right, I'm gonna use that to buy like 2 mutton chops or something.
All right, you approach the vendor. You know, you hand him, I don't know, mutton chops. It's a little bit pricey right now because it is a festival. So mutton chops are like 4 silver a pop. So I don't know if you're trying to pay that, but that's what it costs. So if you want 2 mutton chops, it is what it is. You hand him your gold. He gives you his
Yeah.
change.
Would I know that? No, I wouldn't know. That's expensive.
Probably not. No.
And I don't really care because it's not my money. So.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. No. Okay. Sure.
All right. You guys have your food. Josh, what are you doing? What's the Terrorizes up to?
I'm gonna look for a library.
Okay. There isn't a library right near the town square. You can kind of look around. You're not super familiar with the town, so you might need to ask around and try to get some directions.
All right. I approach one of the villagers. You there, human? Where might I find your bookkeepers?
Bookkeepers.
Yes, a library.
Library. We haven't had a library in these parts quite some time. It's a mining town, you know. We don't read very much.
You've got to at least have some religious texts.
Oh yes, quite yes. Church is where you find religious texts, yes, of course. Church. It's just down the way, past the square. Take a right on Main. We're down about 4 blocks. Take a left on Oak. Right on Juniper. Another right on Merriwood. You have anything else? Any other questions?
That will be all.
Yes. Say, what are you, by the way?
An elf.
Don't look like any elf I've ever seen. I've been around these parts for quite some time.
My red eyes catch a little bit of a glint of sunlight at his I can't think of the word. I guess at his comment.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, that would make sense.
Oh.
Good day.
Good day. Alright, so you have your directions. You can head on over towards the library if you'd like. Jeremy, what's your character got going on? What are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm kind of just keeping tabs on all the people, making sure that I don't get pickpocketed or anything like that. But I'm also trying to keep an eye out for anyone that looks like they would be like a good traveling companion, or merchants who may be going up to Yarnfala, and kind of just looking around. And then eventually I start making my way over to the archery games and kind of see what that is about.
Jeremy, so on your way over to the archery games, you are stopped by one of the merchants at the stalls. You're kind of passing by, and he calls out to you. He goes, "Pardon me, excuse me,
Yes.
Miss. Could I perhaps interest you in my wares?"
I kind of stop. What are you selling?
So you take a look at his stall, and it's actually set up with some pretty intricate, items, some pretty cool looking ones. The main things are there's a couple bows made of both bone and wood. There's some quarterstaves, things like that. Seems to be a weapon merchant. The main kind of centerpiece of his collection is in a glass case. It is a long, thin sword, not unlike a rapier, but it's made of like a clear bluish crystal that you've never seen before.
This rapier, how is it different than, say, my regular rapier that I have? What makes it so special? And why is it in a glass case?
Well, ma'am, first of all, you can never be too careful with all these people around. Second of all, the rapier that we have was forged right from the crystals down here in the Shimmering Crag. I'm trying really hard not to sound like Morty. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez!
That one's made from the Shimmering Crystals! It's really special!
God damn it.
Just keep going. You're doing good. You're doing good. Just keep going.
This rapier is made from crystals from the Shimmering Crag, and people say it's imbued with magic, but really, it just seems to be quite more maneuverable than your standard rapier, or your standard sword, I suppose. Would you like to take a look at it?
Why, if that's not too much trouble, I would love to.
All right. So he pops it out of the case, and hands it to you. When you hold it, you're pretty used to what a normal sword feels like, the heft of it. This is significantly lighter than a normal sword, but it feels just as sturdy when you kind of play around with it. As you look at it, there's a price tag on it, and it's like one of those white like yard sale tags, and it just says 300 G on it.
This rapier is absolutely fantastic. It is much lighter than anything that I've wielded before. Is that a property of the crystal?
Yeah, absolutely. That's They say that they're magical. I'm just gonna do Morty's voice. I can't fucking not think
you
about
bet your sweet ass!
Yeah. That's definitely what it is. The crystals in the crag are magical.
Is that one of the reasons why it's 300 gold?
It's on sale, yeah. It's a great deal right now.
How much
300
is
gold.
Normally,
I don't know, like 1,000 probably. A lot.
oh,
You know how it is. If you want to, make some gold, if you're, light on gold, you could play games or something. Or, I don't know. I don't judge your life. Just, come back.
I smile kind of demurely at him, like, oh, well, yeah, my life's my life. I like this rapier, but I don't have enough money at this point, so I'll come back.
Yeah.
Can I put a deposit on it though, for you to save it for me?
How much you got?
Like 1 gold.
Oh. Yeah, that'll buy you an hour. I'll save it for an hour. Non-refundable.
Okay. I pay the guy gold.
Thanks.
And then I am immediately going to go to the archery range. Or what are the other games that they have?
There's like a couple gambling games like wheels or dice. And then there's the archery range, the strongman competition, and the archery competition, the strongman competition, and the hunt.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to the archery range.
Okay, so you make your way over to the archery range. Richard, what do you do?
Still talking to people. Just about the town.
Oh shit. What accent did I do for the one? And then, my mother took sick, and then me brother took sick, my pa took sick, then I took sick. We're strong here in Brylf, real strong.
Do you have a local doctor?
No, he took sick.
That is a shame.
Say, what are you doing here anyway?
I'm traveling from an offland. I'm just looking to help people as I go.
Help people.
That's correct.
Well, you might think about possibly participating in our town hunt going on today. They're hunting down a terrible beast, probably responsible for the livestock going missing.
Oh, I will inquire about that. Thank you.
Yes, of course. That's what I'm here for. Rumors and the such. Goodbye.
Just fucking tell random people about the town.
I'm a quest and exposition machine.
Just have an exclamation mark floating over her head.
All right. So are you trying to get in? I mean, you don't have to go to the hunt, Richard. But yeah, you know, that's.
I'll go. I'll ask.
All right. You can kind of there's like signs pointing kind of in the square, like, you know, leading people directions. Oh, he just left. John again.
John.
I'm back.
All right.
Sorry.
Fix your shit, John.
There's signs like leading directions, and you can pretty easily find where the people are gathering to start the hunt. You get there, and you see like a burly, rugged, dark bearded man, and he's kind of giving a speech to all the people that are there. Says,
Austin, can I overhear this? Am I like vaguely close enough to be listening in?
There's a lot going on.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say you probably can't hear this specifically through the crowd. We're gonna hold off just in case anybody else wants to also go to the hunt on what he says. But John, what are you and Rakir doing?
Well, so I think Rakir and I are just kind of like chomping on our haunches and standing around. I'm just kind of taking in the sights. Maybe I like wander around to like see the archery range and then see like the feats of strength thing. But I'd probably wander towards the hunt thing since that sounds kind of interesting to me.
Okay. Do you still have Rakir bound?
I think so.
All right. What are you gonna do with this bound dragonborn that you're parading around the town square?
Besides hand feed him.
As we're walking, I'm eating my roast. What was it? Roast mutton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is so much better cooked.
Yeah.
And
that is.
do I overhear anything about the hunt?
I mean, you guys were in the town when the mayor was describing everything, so you guys know about the games and the hunt and all that good stuff.
Did the mayor like? Oh, sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Did the mayor talk about like the reward for the hunt or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
It has not been
And
disclosed
he didn't say
yet.
any details about what we're hunting.
No.
I turn to Talus and say, the hunt sounds like a better place to get more food.
I probably would be. You think you can behave yourself on it?
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Can I insight to like see if he's like just fucking lying to try and get away?
I'll be honest about my true motives.
So one thing I'm gonna say, because that's a good point to bring up, is I'm not gonna like arbitrate roles in between player characters. So if you want to believe him, you can believe him. If you want to think that he's lying, you can think that he's lying.
I stab everybody.
All right, Jeremy. But yeah, so if you want to, that's up to you. I'm not gonna, because there's not really like fate involved in that. It's really just what you believe. As far as like talking to NPCs though, that's kind of a different story.
Okay.
I'm my lips at the thought of getting more food, Talus.
All right, and I'm going to take a big bite. Well, let's check it out. And head over.
All right, you guys are heading over to the hunt. Naradasi, what are you up to?
I'm a little malnourished.
Would this have been enough time to make my way through those complicated directions?
Yeah, you're like halfway through. As you're going halfway through, you notice there's like a table set up with one of these games of chance on it. And it's pretty similar to the rest of the ones, like just a regular wood table set up with like a dice pit in the table.
Mm-hmm.
And however, a lot of the ones have been offering gold. This one is offering prizes specifically. And one of the prizes you can see is a dark red dagger with an ornate obsidian handle.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is a thick stone mask.
Thick stone mask, eh?
Yeah. If you want to interact with that, you can. You don't have to.
I'll take my little detour. Talk to this games master.
This game master, as it were. Yes. I gotta think of an accent for this guy. He's gonna talk like me. Greetings, traveler. Can I interest you in a game of chance?
Perhaps. But first, human, please explain to me what this game entails and what the prizes for the game might be.
The game is simple. You pay a gold, and you roll the dice. If the dice come up as doubles, so snake eyes, 2 2s, 3 3s, or 2 3s, not 3 3s. If the dice come up doubles, then you win a prize. If otherwise, I take your gold and we move on.
Simple enough. Tell me about the prizes.
Well, as you can see behind me, there's a large stone mask called the Mask of Ordesi. Legend holds that. Jesus, Anthony's just rolling crits over here. Legend holds that the Mask of Ordesi was worn by the great and powerful King Ordesi from the land of the sands far, far away. I bought it in a flea market. Now I'm sure it holds great and terrible power. To the left of me is a knife called the Vampire Knife. This was once wielded by the vampires of Kilkasi, and it's will make its wielder capable of a great and terrible power.
And you said it's 1 gold per play?
1 gold per throw, traveler.
I place 1 gold on the table.
Alright, go ahead and roll 2d6, Josh.
Alright, I want to cast Minor Illusion on these.
Okay. How are you going to do that stealthily?
Well, it's not a verbal spell.
It is somatic, however.
I mean, I only need 1 hand to roll, 1 hand to cast.
That's fair. All right. What illusion are you going to be casting?
The goal is to make it appear as though I've rolled a winning roll.
Second. So make sure. What is the save against that? Is there a save against this? I guess it would just be the inside check. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and create a minor illusion. So you're gonna roll and then cast minor illusion, so it looks like it comes up as what it was going to come up as.
You said any doubles win?
Any doubles, yeah.
Do higher doubles mean better prizes?
No, just any doubles.
Actually, before I do that, I'm just gonna take my chance with rolling the dice.
All right, go ahead and roll 2d6.
Oh boy, here we go.
1 and a 4.
Tough luck, traveler. He takes your gold. Care for another roll?
Perhaps one more won't hurt. I place another gold on the table.
This is how it starts, Josh.
And this time, I will cast minor illusion.
Okay. All right, go ahead and throw your dice, and then cast your illusion.
Right.
Throw your illusion. Cast your dice.
Okay. And
all right.
I'm just gonna go ahead and try to make. I want the second die that did not roll a 6 to appear as though it did.
All right. He takes a look at them and he goes, "What? That's possible? How in the?" He kind of picks him up and he will attempt to investigate the dice. So. He takes a look at the die and goes, "Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry. I thought it came up as 2 6s. Looks like you lost again." Takes the gold. Care for one more try?
Did I notice him hesitate there?
Why don't you roll to find out if you noticed or not? Roll a perception check. Or an insight check, either one.
Oh, how do I fucking turn that shit off? How do I turn off the rolling with fucking...
Go into your
You don't
settings.
have
So, open your character thing. There should be a cog right next to core bio and spells.
Yeah.
Right underneath that, roll
Um,
queries.
yeah. Roll queries, and then I do query advantage.
Where the fuck is that? Oh, roll queries. Oh, I found it.
Yeah, I do toggle
Advantage
advantage.
toggle, yeah. Alright.
I'm just going to take the first roll on your perception check for that. So yes, you did notice him taken quite a bit aback by the thought of you rolling 2d6. Or, I'm sorry, 2 6s.
Now, for only having thought I rolled 2 6s, it sounded as though you might not have thought that possible.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, the odds of rolling, 2 numbers the same are quite low in any circumstance, eh?
Right. Human, be honest with me here. These dice are weighted, aren't they?
He leans in and he goes, "Keep your voice down. Listen, you can have an item. Just don't say anything."
Then I'll have that stone mask and my 2 gold back.
I have kids to feed. Can't just take the mask.
It's going to be much harder to earn more money later if the rest of these people find out.
He begrudgingly slides you back your 2 gold and grabs the mask off of the rack and hands it to you.
Wise choice. Good day, sir.
Good day.
I said good day.
Alright. So, Jessamine and Rokir and Talus are all headed over to the hunt. I'm sorry, and also Natsu, you're also headed to the hunt, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head over there. During that time, you guys kind of all arrive. Jessamine, you look over at the people arriving. I assume you're paying quite close attention, as you have been pretty much the entire time.
Of course.
And you notice Talus coming with a bound dragonborn in tow.
I make myself noticeable to Talus, but don't.
What does that mean?
It means I'm not approaching, but I'm kind of like making myself more in his line of sight.
Like,
You're,
you know,
like,
when you
pointing
haven't see, like, you know, like when you were in high school and you didn't see your friend all summer, but then like you notice them from across the quad, and you don't want to yell and look like a fucking nerd. So you just kind of like you open your eyes a little wider and you just keep looking at them, hoping they look at you.
Yeah, you kind of like shift your like. Here, let me get into a position where I know this is within your field of view. Like,
Okay, sure. All right.
Fucking see me, nerd.
All right.
I'm just trying to be a little bit more in his line of sight. The Dragonborn kind of throws me off, but I want to be seen specifically by him.
All right, Talus, you arrive. You see Jessamine, and also behind you, Natsu. You see Talus with a dragonborn in tow. You guys know each other, right?
Me and Natsu?
Yeah.
I would think that if we knew each other, we would have walked in, but
But
I
that
don't
didn't happen, I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not,
Okay.
I don't think it's super important if we do or not.
Okay. All right. So you see a strangely tanned man with a dragonborn in tow. He stands out in this area. Talus, you see Jessamine at the hunt. However, before you guys have a chance to really make any kind of pleasantries, the 4 of you are greeted by this booming voice. And he says, "Welcome, one and all, to Brylf's hunt to take down the legendary White Wolf." But he starts cheering. And then he goes, "Simmer down, simmer down."
I roar.
Good. I like it. Simmer down. Today we'll be heading into the Savage Heights and finally killing this beast once and for all that's been stealing our livestock and bringing disprosperity to our lands. Yeah, kill the wolf! Kill him! Today's prize shall be the one who brings me the head of the wolf will receive 500 gold pieces. In addition, they can keep whatever skins, paws, fur they cut off of the damn thing. Now, we're not quite sure where it is, which is why it's a hunt. However, we do know that it is. Alright? So I can't read and talk at the same time, so I'm going to say something. We know that it's south in the Savage Heights, and that is about the extent of our knowledge. It'll be up to you to track it down, kill it, and bring its head back to me. I suggest that those of you willing to participate be of sturdy and sound body, and don't go it alone. If you'd like to partner up, we'll be splitting the prize in between you and each of your partners. Any questions? No? Going once. I don't want anyone to ask me any questions after I'm done talking.
Can I use the bathroom?
Where is the beast located?
What was that, Anthony?
Where's the beast?
In the Savage Heights.
Like,
What's the beast's CR?
all right.
Pretty high. Next question. One of the villagers raises
Does it
their...
have debts?
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. I was making a joke.
Oh, okay. So one of the villagers raises their hand and goes, "Yes, what if I kill it alone?" "I doubt that'll happen. The beast is torn apart numerous men your size and left their carcasses in the mountains."
Has it torn apart Dragonborns this guy's size?
But what if we do it alone?
Yeah, but what if?
Then, I guess you'd enjoy the entire prize to yourself, then. If there are no more questions, then let the hunt begin! And he, just gestures to the open snow, because they don't have, a gate or anything.
I turn to
Do we all
Talus.
cheer, or is it just like, let it begin?
People start running out into the snow towards the mountains to try to get to it first.
I turn to Talus and say, I need gold and my freedom. I help you kill this wolf, and you let me go free.
I could agree to that. Just know I'm watching you.
I
Talus.
extend my bound wrists.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, well, alright. I was going to say, while all this is going on, Jessamine has been slowly making her way towards you.
All right. I'm gonna say as I cut the bindings, just I have a feeling we're about to have another partner on this. Austin, can remember just from my hunting affinities and experience anything about wolves, large wolves, white wolves, anything about this that would stand out that I would think maybe it's
A warg or
right, would it be a warg? Is it a nocturnal beast?
Well, John, you're in luck. Your, if I recall correctly, your favored enemy is monstrosities. Is that correct?
Yep.
This wolf is a monstrosity.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Guess who gets to use his ranger abilities?
Which means you are very good at tracking it, if I recall, right?
Yeah, I get bonuses and shit, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to have to read how all that works.
You have advantage on survival checks to track intelligence and advantage on intelligence checks to recall info about them.
Considering you don't know specifically what it is, I'm going to say you can't really make a check to remember anything about it right now, but you do know that it's a large wolf in the snowy climate.
Okay.
But you will have advantage on tracking. So.
Sweet. Yeah, boy.
As Jessamine approaches, you see a young, fairly young, but looking to be entering adulthood, a woman with kind of shoulder-length blonde hair, a little smile of recognition at seeing Talus and having someone she know be here, but kind of giving the Dragonborn a curious and cautious look. She's wearing typical dark clothing, but with bits of yellow kind of strewn about through the clothing. So it's kind of black, but has nice yellow kind of striping and patterns, and like little bandanas that are tied to her arm. She has a long pointed rapier on her waist and a short bow across her back, and she has various other knickknacks on her body. And it looks like she's wearing a necklace of sorts that kind of goes into her leather armor. Ah, well, Talus, it's wonderful to see you here. I didn't think you were going to be coming up this way. Had I realized, I would have gone to Hearthwaite and walked out with you. I thought I turned my sound off. Holy fuck! My bad.
Quite immersive.
I'm so sorry. There we go.
Jessamine, is it?
Yes, it is. You've talked with my grandmother quite some time. Moon. She was the herbalist.
I remember.
It seems as if you were going to go out on the hunt. I have a couple of things. I could use some money, but also I would like to be going up to Yarnfala at some point, and would like to use some company. My travel up to Brylf was not as easy as I would have thought it to be. So going alone is really no longer an option.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. John Fall, how far is that, by the way?
North of the crag.
Yeah, it's pretty far north of the crag. It's like
Austin was saying like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, 3 miles. Or I'm sorry, what was it? It was like three days walk, 3 weeks walk.
I thought it was 3 weeks. Let me check. Austin, can you check, because I'm the one recording this?
Yeah, I'll check. Hold on.
Everyone's gonna be like, oh, let's look at the backstory.
Yeah.
I really, really doubt that would happen, but I would prefer not to give away my secret.
We're all gonna watch the recording and then just like pause it at that moment so we can read through the whole discussion of your backstory.
Ugh. All you're gonna see is me messaging Austin, I'm a zombie. That's it.
Well, Jean Paul is pretty far north, as I recall. I've never been up there before, but maybe we can discuss this after the hunt.
Would it be possible for me to join you on this hunt? I have some useful skills. I know herbs and stuff, but I am quite good with the bow as well, and this rapier.
I'm gonna look over at Rokir. I'm just looking
at you, and I like give like are you're human, right, Jessamine?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I just give like a little like squint and like growl at her, but like nothing of like major disapproval. I'm like wary of the person.
This growl, I kind of like take a step back and like kind of like a little frightened.
Less of like a growl and more just like of a.
Okay, I still take like half a step backwards of concern, because not having dealt with Dragonborn very often, it can be difficult. Is that all right with your companion?
Yes. Yeah. Please join us.
I'm like rubbing my wrists where my hands were bound.
Join us. At the very least, you can help contain this one if he gets out of hand.
I kind of like lean into Talus. Why was he tied up?
He ate a sheep.
Sheep.
Not really sure what's his story here, but
I pick wool out of my teeth.
Oh.
Okay.
Not a cook. I am gonna look at Talus as he disappears and kind of say, "When you're ready, come find me. I'm going to be by the archery. The splitting of gold from the hunt is not going to be enough for what I need." And then I'm going to make my way to the archery. And
All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Josh, what is Naradasi up to?
Well, he's moved on from the quote unquote game of chance with its rigged dice, and he's made his way to the library he was given directions towards.
the library.
The church, you mean?
Yeah, and you called it library, you called it church, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's a holy house of books.
I'm gonna have to refresh Roll20 because it keeps giving me a unresponsive page warning. I was on my way to there to look through their texts and see if there's anything that might interest me.
All right. So you make your way to the church library, the church's library, and you enter in there. There's
I'm
an
just
old...
going to say I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Samesies.
Okie doke. There's an old man behind the counter. Welcome in. How can I help you?
Human, I'm here to view some of your religious texts if it would not be too much of a trouble.
Of course. Allow me to grab you holiest, well, not the holiest, but fairly holy script. Detailing the religions of our town. He grabs a thick tome. There's like gold leaf embroidered letters on the front, and it just says religion of the town, which is down here somewhere.
I'm back.
They are worshippers of Torm.
Torm?
Torm, yes. Holy Church of Torm. If I recall correctly, Torm is a lawful good deity. You'd know that. He, I believe, is a war god. I forget. Let me see. Torm. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so on the front there's just a golden gauntlet with the palm forward, which is the symbol of Torm.
I pick up the book and I begin flipping through the text, sort of skimming to try and retrieve details of the town, local legends, and their personal beliefs of and virtues and values of their worship.
Well, as far as the beliefs of Torm are concerned, it's very much so a god that is dutiful, loyal, and righteous. Very much a paladin's god. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah. they're very against anything evil. Um, you know, which would be like thievery or murder or necromancy or anything kind of like in that general range. As far as like what their values are, is from what you can see, it looks like the town. Further back, it looks like the town used to worship an old dwarven god back when the town was still a prosperous mining town. However, in recent years, probably the last 50 years or so, it has been sort of converted to this religion of Torm. Is there anything else specific you're trying to find out?
This guy that's here, is he just the local priest sort of deal? Is he like a scribe?
You're not really sure. You can find out.
Tell me, human, do all the citizens of Brylf believe in the values of Torm?
Well, I can't certainly speak for every individual. Most us here in the area do believe in the values of Torm. However, some worship the older gods. What the fuck is his name? What is his name? Moradin. Some of us follow the teachings of Moradin back from what a quaint mining town. However, yes, most of us follow the religion of Torm.
I see. Strange that such a just and powerful god would have worshippers that would so willingly break the law.
He kind of looks taken aback. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I ran into one of the game merchants earlier. It appears he might not be as honest as he appears.
Well, the 150th anniversary of our town has brought all kinds of scoundrels and ne'er-do-wells out from the woodworks to come and scam, well, travelers not unlike yourself.
Yes, perhaps he's not of Brylf, but simply passing through.
Perhaps. He seems offended that you would even offer the notion.
Yes. Thank you, human, for your time. Now, could you tell me, does anybody in Brylf specialize in the arcane arts? Magic, if you will?
Oh, yes, magic, of course. You'd want to head to the... kind of scratches his head as if he doesn't. He's like trying to come up with an answer for it. You might want to I don't know, ask the mayor. He knows everyone in town. Probably be able to get a good answer from him. I just can't seem to remember. I haven't eaten breakfast this morning. It's quite cold.
And it's the most important meal of the day.
Yes. But the mayor would know. The mayor knows everyone in town. He might be able to help.
I'll be taking my leave then.
Yes, do.
And I exit and make my way back towards the square.
Okie dokie. The four of you, Rokir, Talus, and Jessamine are all partied up. Natsu, what are you up to?
So I'm seeing a bunch of just common people, I guess, run off into the woods, right?
Yeah.
I think I noticed that there is quite a conspicuous dragonborn and a ranger-looking person, someone that knows the wilds, staying here. They seem like they have their heads about their shoulders. I'm gonna go head over to them.
All right.
Uh,
Richard, what kind of religion has your character practiced?
The non-deity kind.
Okay, so mostly like philosophical type stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
with some like spiritualness in there.
All right. Never mind. Go ahead and continue.
All right. So I walk up. Hello. My name is Surinatsu. I noticed you all are gathering here for the hunt.
That's correct, yeah.
Well, it seems like you are the most capable bunch here, and I would like to join you and aid your endeavors.
I'm gonna kind of eye you up and down. Are you like carrying weapons of any kind, or?
You can see the hilt of a sword coming over my back. But I'm clothed in just kind of cloth, normal pants, like billowy, clothy pants. Got like a sash thing going over my chest, shoulder to hip.
You know anything about hunting?
Not particularly hunting, but I can hold myself up in a fight in the combat. From where I was from, I did help towns deal with beasts. Not quite up to the caliber of what the huntsman was speaking of here.
All right. Well, what we're up against is going to be pretty nasty. So we'll appreciate the help.
All right, excellent.
John, so I don't know if you heard this, because you got it. I said when you were ready, come get me. But I went to the archery.
Okay.
Okay. So then, Jeremy, your Jessamine is at the archery range.
I dropped out of the roll 20. 1 sec.
Okay.
No, sorry, you can keep going, but yeah.
All right, Jeremy, Jessamine makes her way over to the archery range. You see that there's not too many people lined up there for the actual contest. But there's a board with the rules on it. It doesn't look like there's anybody really officiating it. The rules just say prize 150 gold. That's kind of in like big letters right above the top. Rules are closest to the bullseye, or closer to the bullseye equals more points, and then there's a breakdown of the point values based on the rings that you hit. So the outer rings are worth 1 point, the inner rings are worth 3 points, and the middle bullseye is worth 5 points. And it says 3 shots.
For how much gold you have to pay?
Yeah, there's a 15 gold entry. I'm sorry, a 10 gold entry.
Okay, that's much. I had 15 gold, and I spent one of them.
I just did the math, and I was like, that doesn't really add up for 150. They're making a fucking killing off this archery contest. Yeah.
I would like to give it a go. Are we supplied bows, or are we to use our own?
You are supplied bows.
Okay. Then I would like to do it.
All right, go ahead and make 3 ranged attack rolls.
Can I just make it with my short bow?
Yeah.
Oh.
Goddamn.
Okay.
Bullseye.
Jeremy,
Holy shit!
wow. Okay, you hit the bullseye. Good job. Moving on.
Then the third one.
Okay,
I think I hit the bullseye twice.
you did. So you end up with 11 points, which puts you in the lead so far. And in fact, you split an arrow in twain.
Nice. So much archery.
Does he
yeah,
get like
dexterity.
style points for that one?
Oh yeah. So his total points goes up to 15 for being a fucking monster on the archery range. You literally destroyed that target.
So the first one, Jessamine, like picks up the bow and kind of just like knocks an arrow, and then kind of quick snaps, and as she's pulling up, pulls the arrow back and just fires it, and it just goes straight into the middle of the board, and it's as if she's done this a million times.
The second one, not so much.
She kind of looks at the bow,
But the third one,
and the bow goes, well, it's not bad. And it kind of takes time with the second one and kind of really steadies herself, and that kind of air hits the edge of it. And then the third one, she kind of goes and just does a similar thing where she just tries to knock it as quickly as possible and hits the bullseye again.
Nice. All right. The person kind of watching over it, not really necessarily officiating, but sort of making sure people don't cheat, which I guess is officiating, right? But like, the referee just goes, well, I know every archer here in Brylf. Nobody's gonna do better than that. So I think we'll just call it. Take your prize, young lady. And he hands you a sack with 150 gold.
Woohoo! That worked great for me.
All right, Josh, you've managed to make your way back to the town square. You're looking for the mayor.
yeah.
Okay, he is in he's in kind of the center of the town square, making conversation with all the passers-by.
I approach. You there. I take it from your speech earlier that you're the mayor of this town.
Yeah, he's an older guy with a long, scraggly white beard, fairly heavy set, with like long white hair. Oh, why yes! Welcome to Brylf. You're not from around here, Dark Elf, huh?
Yes, just recently made my way out of the Underdark.
I'm sure the climate is suiting you great, right?
Oh, it was much colder down there than you might expect.
Anyway, how can I help you?
A lovely festival you've got.
Thank you very much.
I just spoke with your local priest. He says that I should discuss with you. I'm trying to find someone with some arcanic knowledge.
Arcanic knowledge,
Magic, if you will.
Right, yes. I understand. You didn't need to clarify. Thank you for doing so. Well, there are no practicing wizards or warlocks in the town. However, I myself happened to sling a few spells back in the day, and I keep a small collection in my office of tomes and the such, just in case I'd ever need to pick up the mantle again. What questions did you have?
Well, I'm just trying to complete my late master's works, you see. I'm a wizard by trade. Just trying to expand my knowledge, learn some new spellcraft.
Okay. Did you have anything specific in mind?
Not necessarily. More so just trying to broaden my horizons, if you will. I was
Well-
wondering if perhaps you have some recorded tomes that I may look over.
Yeah. I mean, just go ahead and I'll take you to my office, and then we can speak to my secretary, and she'll sit you down with the books, and you can take a look at some of them.
Very nice. Much appreciated.
However, if you plan on copying any of them, a standard fee will apply.
Oh, but of course.
Yes, but of course. Depending on which spell, my secretary will give you a breakdown of the cost of each. That building right over there, and he gestures to like a smaller, kind of like quaint-looking office building. Not an office building, not like a high-rise office building, like a little cottagey kind of building. With a nice oak door. He gestures over to it and says, "That right there is the town hall. So if you head right in there, speak to my secretary, tell her that it's my name. That Mayor Torre sent you to take a look at the books. She'll know what it means.
Mayor Torre. How's that spelled?
Tore.
T-O-R-E. Yes. Thank you, Mayor Torre.
Yes, and thank you for coming to Brylf. Enjoy your stay and enjoy taking a look at the spells. All right.
I make my way to that building.
Sweet. All right, the four of you. Jessamine, are you headed back over to where Talus and all them are at?
I am.
Okay.
I'm a little smug with my winnings and stuff. I'm trying to I kind of keep the pouch tucked in, but I'm just smug about the fact that I did so well.
You did do very well, so you should be smug. You have every right.
I kind of walk back over to Talus. It seems as if we have a new addition. I'm Jessamine. Nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Tsurinatsu.
You know, it's a very nice name, Suri. Pleasure to meet you.
The same. You can call me Natsu.
That's it. Well, should we head off to the forest and see about this wolf? Or are we waiting for something?
It's up to you guys. You can leave whenever you.
I was asking Talus.
Well, I don't think these townsfolk have much of a chance against this beast, but we might want to get started soon. Try and get to it before any of them happen to cross it.
I wonder if there are any other out-of-towners that could help us, because it seems that we are all out-of-towners.
I growl reluctantly, and say, "Too many feet will scare the beast, and less of a reward as well."
I kind of look back and can't see my footprints and go, I'm fairly quiet, so I don't think I will be scaring the beast.
I'm gonna look around. Do I see anyone else looking for trouble? I guess.
You actually hear kind of in the distance, like a loud, piercing wail coming from.
Perception check.
Okay. You want to do a perception check, Anthony? Yeah.
I'm
No?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. Give me 1 second. Let me just finish. So you hear like a loud piercing wail kind of come from the mountains. Since it's mostly snowy in this area and there's not a whole lot of trees, it's not very much dampened. The snow kind of helps it reverberate through the air. So go ahead and roll perception, Anthony.
He's not in the or 20.
Oh yeah. What happened? You're not in roll 20?
Roll 20's dead. Long live the roll 20.
Long live D&D Beyond. Long live D&D Beyond.
Yeah, but you can't roll anything in D&D Beyond, so it's
Right.
not as useful as we would want it to be.
Long live Tabletop Simulator.
I want that game.
It's so cool.
If we all got it, we could play in there.
It's
Josh,
so
let's make a GoFundMe for it. And then...
It's significantly cheaper than Monster Hunter, so.
True.
Anthony, are you hopping in roll 20?
Anthony's
He's
dead.
dead.
Long live
Yeah, I feel
Anthony.
No, Tony, no. Also, it's still weird to me that you call him Anthony because I know him as Tony.
Well, I've known him
Sorry
since he
about
was
that, I
like 12,
disconnected.
so.
Hey.
I
Oh,
disconnected right after I said perception check.
Okay. Alright, so there's your perception check. You hear a loud wail coming from the mountains.
It's the beast.
Does it sound, Austin? Does it sound like a person's wail or like a monster wail?
It's high pitched. That's really all you can tell currently.
Monster whale.
Do I know if giant white wolves make a shrieking sound?
You would know with your experience that giant white wolves probably make a more of a howling noise.
Okay, that's what I would think.
Upon hearing this, I kind of like scoot behind Talus. Just like put him between me and the gate.
Let me clarify. It is fairly far away that you're
I
hearing this
know.
noise. Okay.
I know.
I'm gonna kind of like look around for a second for Jessamine and then realize that she's like hiding behind me.
I'm not hiding, but moved behind.
Are you sure you want to accompany us?
You're more capable than they. I may not be the bravest soul, but it's better to go with company. I will be able to help, I think.
Well, unless you had anyone else in mind, I think we should probably get going.
Austin, do I see Naradasi walking to the town hall?
You guys are kind of on the outskirts of the town right now. He's in the town center, town square. So, right now you guys are pretty split up.
Okay, then I don't do anything.
Alright.
I say, no, I don't see anyone that would seem like be good company.
You guys hear another scream coming from the mountains. This one is deeper.
Let's go. Certus, come on. And I'm gonna like...
Oh!
Yo.
Okay.
Tony's
Rokir.
rolling shit.
I know, right? Rokir, you can hear. You can hear that it is definitely coming from over. There's like quite a few hills. It's like sort of a fjordy area. There's quite a few hills, and there's about 4 hills back. There's a quite larger hill that leads up to the Savage Heights. Like the road to the Savage Heights, I suppose. You can tell there's like a wooded area over there, and that is where the scream came from.
I just want to relay that information to the party.
I kind of look up at Talus like he's the tracker.
Your gross, like dragonborn ear slits, like flit a little bit.
Yeah, I hear it, and I'm just saying, Whatever's happening over there, it isn't good. We should hurry, quick.
Let's go. Certus and I'm gonna like snap to my dog, and he'll like run up next to me, and we're gonna go. Head up.
That's adorable.
In fact, I'm also going to I'm going to like hold my hand up in the air, and a raven is going to come land on my hand. And I'm going to hold on 1 second. I'm going to say, "Koraki, scout," and then like kind of throw the bird, and the raven is just going to like take off ahead of us.
You also have a bird?
I also have a bird.
Yeah, John's decked out.
I'm decked out in animals, dude. All in on the animals.
John created like a whole continent. His fucking backstory is nuts.
I didn't create a whole continent. I said, I don't know where this is, and you were like, it's on a continent. And I was like, all right.
Actually, didn't we agree it was an archipelago?
Yeah, it's an
But-
archipelago
So-
near this continent.
Ipso facto, John created an archipelago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Jeremy's a zombie. So
Okay.
if it's within 100 feet, yeah. So I'll just keep it within 100 feet of me. The bird.
Okay.
So it'll like scout 100 feet out, and it's got good vision because it's a bird, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
100 feet. So like 100 linear feet. Like how does
it can be well, I mean, it can be further. So I'm just gonna have it like go out and look for whatever's making noise, and if it sees something, I'm gonna just say like, "Koraki, come back to me if you see anything interesting," and then like send him out.
Okay. So,
Send her out, and she can find whatever she wants to find for me.
are you guys like running?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're kind of booking it because there's screaming and stuff.
All right. You guys make it
Anthony, DC
about
from Roll20 again.
you guys make it about like 200, 300 feet out. Not very far. And Karaki starts flying back towards you. You can see. In addition, there are now significantly more screaming, like significantly more voices screaming, coming from behind the steeper hill that leads up to the Savage Heights. Yeah. There's a lot of screaming. A lot of screaming going on. Josh.
Yeah.
You enter the mayor's little area, his office, and the secretary greets you and says, "Is there something I can help you with?"
Yes. Mayor Torre said I should check here for some knowledge on some of his magical tomes.
Knowledge on his magical tomes. Uh-huh. And did he tell you that there is a fee associated?
Indeed. So long
Perfect.
as a fee for recording said tomes. You said nothing of a fee for viewing.
Okay. Fine. She kind of like gestures over to like a bookcase, and you see specifically like just a bunch of like spell tomes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any spells in particular that I have to look at?
It's mostly kind of like just cantrips, like
Fine.
fairly
Cantrips are
simple
great.
stuff.
They don't take spell slots.
It's mostly fairly simple stuff like Mage Hand, Prestidigitation is on there. You see, he says as he opens up his spells. And some more spells.
You're just compiling a list of tomes for me.
Richard gets non-flashback. Compiling.
All right,
What
so
flashback? Non?
yeah, so the ones that you're seeing here are, like I said, prestidigitation, mage hand, light, mending, minor illusion, and there's one kind of like more beefy looking tome, and that one is a tome of comprehend language.
I pick up the Mage Hand tome.
Okay.
And I sort of look at the scripture, sort of getting a mild idea of what's going on there. Tell me, what would be the cost of transcribing this tome?
Well, you can transcribe the tome. Take quite some time, and I'll charge you 25 gold an hour for the time that it takes you. Or, since I know he's not using that one, I could just sell that to you for, let's call it 60 gold.
Sick. I got like 1/6 of that.
Okay.
Tear out 1/6 of the pages.
Yeah. Learn 1/6 of Mage Hand.
I
Get the
only
palm.
want this part of Mage Hand. I only want the pinky.
All right, I just want the pinky.
I just want the middle finger from Mage Hand.
Mage finger.
I just want the opposable thumb. That shit's useful.
As you guys were talking, she suddenly goes, "Shh! Did you hear that?" You hear like a high pitched, like screaming sound from the open window.
Heard it before it happened.
All right. Is this somewhere I can roll a perception check?
You can. All right, you can make it out that it is a woman screaming.
It sounds like a woman screaming.
Yes, but I'm worried because today is the hunt. Perhaps somebody's not doing so well.
Well, the hunt is to take care of some sort of beast that's been taking livestock, is it not?
Livestock and lives.
Then
Yes.
it only makes logical sense that some of the hunters might not do so well.
I suppose that's true.
It's a risk of the job.
You guys hear another loud screaming, and this time it's a male scream.
Let's book it.
Tell me, human woman, do you know anybody that's out hunting today?
Do
You seem worried.
yes, my sister is out there.
I've got a bit of prowess in combat. I may be able to help make sure your sister's all right with some incentive.
She kind of eyes you. Really? What kind of incentive were you looking for?
Well, you see, I'm sort of new to this overworld, as it were, and I don't quite have the funds to pay you for this tome. But perhaps we could strike a deal.
So, you bring my sister back alive, and I give you the tome.
I cannot promise that she will come back alive, only that I will do my best to ensure it.
Well, listen, I gotta get something out of this deal.
my sister's not back alive, you're not getting the tome.
This is a fair transaction, I would say.
Alright, well, hurry up then. Because,
I'm gonna need some descriptors. Otherwise, how am I to tell your sister apart from any of the other humans out there?
well, she looks like me. We're twins.
You all look the same to me.
Oh, gosh. Alright. She has honey blonde hair, dark brown eyes. She is of ample bosom. She's like 5'10", dark skinned, and I mean that should probably be enough description.
All right.
No,
Oh,
keep
and
going.
she fights with she fights with a large broadsword.
A large broadsword. All right.
Oh man,
I'll make my way out there and see if I can find her.
Oh, thank you. I know exactly how I'll repay you.
Wink. I was thinking, oh man, it'd be funny if she didn't give the indication that she wields a large broadsword, and Nardasi's like, "You, child," and just like, "Is this your sister?" No.
No. Alright, so you're gonna head out there, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the four of you, what is your bird's name, John?
Korvaki.
Korvaki? What, as far as that familiar is concerned, how much information can you get from it?
Or Koraki, sorry. What do you mean, how much information can I give you?
All of it.
Like, it can't, like, talk to you, can it?
Yeah.
Oh, it can?
Yep.
He could observe through its senses as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can communicate telepathically if we're within 100 feet of each other.
Well, and does it speak like, you speak, I know you speak a certain couple languages, yeah, I assume it speaks what you speak, but does it speak like intelligently, like in full sentences? How does it all work?
So that's the thing. I mean, it doesn't, like, it has the stats of the animal, right?
Mm-hmm. What's its intelligence score?
And obviously a bird doesn't have enough intelligence to speak.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the communication is just like, I just know what it knows. You know, I don't really know based on the wording of how this works.
I think the telepathy would solely be with John.
It just does an interpretive dance, you know?
Right, yeah, no one else can hear it for sure. Or can know what it's saying.
But I'm just trying to think how it conveys the information.
Right. I mean, I guess it's not like a familiar. Like, it's not an imp or something. It's not like a... I don't think, anyway, that it's like an intelligent, sentient creature.
It's just like a magical kind of creature.
Yeah.
Situation.
It's like a magical bird that can talk to me. Or that can communicate with me.
Okay. So for right now, we're just gonna like make a ruling right now, and if we end up having a change, we'll have a change. But okay. So it sees you, and in your mind, John, there are two kind of prevailing thoughts that's communicating to you telepathically, which are the words "run" and the words "horde."
Okay, I'm guessing I'm in front, right?
You are.
I'm going to stop dead and throw out my arms to the sides to stop my companions. Is it within... so it can communicate... It's within 100 feet of me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a couple of seconds to look through her eyes and see what she's seeing.
Okay. So you kind of warg into your little familiar, and you're flying up through there, and you see, kind of at the same time, what these other people see. Well, first of all, you guys hear a long, bellowing, droning sound, kind of pierce the what was the kind of the human screams. This sounds significantly different than that. John, as you're familiar, you look through their eyes and you see a large horde of innumerable orcs running up the hillside.
So we're talking like an army.
Yes.
Fuck.
Austin, I had a question real quick.
Go ahead.
So which direction are we heading? You said we're going south?
Yeah, you guys are headed south, but you guys are on like the South Pole, so the further south you go, the colder it gets.
Right, but
And then the where's the horde coming from? Which direction? Are they coming from the Savage Heights?
Yes.
Okay. So they're just coming directly the way we were coming.
Yes. They are coming from the direction you were going.
I stop, turn around, start running.
yeah, I'm gonna turn to my companions and say, "Run."
Run.
And just,
I'm going to do that. Can I also stealth?
Can you stealth?
Like, I want to run, but quietly. And try not make tracks and, like, be out of sight.
Yeah, you can run. I mean, you're going to run it like... yeah, fuck it, yeah. You can do that. You can do that, Jeremy. Your character is probably pretty well versed in that, having grown up in the snowy areas, so...
Okay, I do it.
Okay. So you guys are all running your way back to Brylf?
Richard just
Yeah.
shakes his head.
Get a +8. It's amazing.
Okay.
thieves get
So-
crazy skill bonuses.
Yeah,
The-
they do.
The rest of you who have not seen the orcs yet,
As we're running, I asked John or Talus, what's wrong?
Orcs, a fuckload.
so the rest of you who haven't seen the orcs yet, you hear this bellowing noise again, and you start to feel sort of a rumbling in the ground as you see, crest over top of the hill, hundreds of orcs running towards Brylf.
All right, guys.
Which direction again?
From the direction you were headed towards, from the Savage Heights.
Yeah. I thought it was a different direction.
Yeah, they're coming from the Savage Heights.
Is
are
the
we
town
at
like
Brylf yet?
sounding an alarm or anything?
They are now. The guard towers
Okay.
have seen the orcs, so there is now an alarm sounding in the town, and they are kind of trying to scramble their militia.
Okay, is there a wall around Brylf?
No, there is a small wooden gate.
Cool,
A gate
that'll
and no
work.
wall?
A what?
It's a gate and no wall?
Yeah, just a gate. They're a mining town. They're not like a...
Why even have a
Town.
gate?
Because it
To
has a
keep-
big sign over it that says Brylf.
Yeah,
Is that a
To
gate
keep-
then?
to keep the livestock in.
Wait.
Where...
It's got a
Is there
gate
a
and a
fence?
fence. Yeah,
Okay,
there's a
there's
fence.
a fence.
It's not a
All
wall.
right. I was just picturing like a lone gate with no wall.
Why? Okay, yeah, my bad. There's a fucking fence too.
It keeps the spirits in.
Orcs are notoriously bad at climbing fences, so
They're really bad. They're really bad at not going through gates too. Like
yeah.
if there's a gate, they're like, we got to go through the gate, guys. There are rules.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like they're
Unless there's a
really good-
wall, in which case they'll like blow it up or
Yeah,
something.
they
Right.
storm over it, but like fences,
Yeah.
they're like scared of it, like a fence.
Yeah.
I think
Take offense to that.
Ah.
I no longer
So-
want to play.
How big is Brylf compared to like this ward? Like, can they muster up equitable numbers?
It's not very big, but however, there are a lot of adventurers and like people here currently because of the anniversary. So
Sweet. All right,
Okay.
then I'm gonna run towards the gate and just kind of hope the companions are with me.
I follow.
And we're gonna try and get in that gate and then defend it. It's, I think what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Let's see, y'all.
Naradasi, what are you up to?
Am I in a position that I've seen the orcs at this point?
You have now seen the orcs. Yes, they've come over the crest of the furthest hill.
I suppose I suppose I head towards the little fence to lend my aid.
The defense.
Yeah.
Are there just big D's on it?
The fence is actually made of D's.
Yeah.
There's giant.
Big wooden D's. It's a very strange.
So here's the question: do these orcs want
These
the-
fence.
The D.
These the Brylf. All right, so
Yeah,
Big deal.
please.
the five of you are at this fence. There are numerous other militia members around you, and other able-bodied looking adventurers. The mayor.
Like ready in action.
What happened? Anthony?
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
I said I was gonna ready in action. As soon as an orc got in 120 feet, I wanted to shoot Eldritch Blast.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. So, the mayor is addressing the townspeople. He's no longer dressed in his garb that he was. It seems he's dressed in like wizard's robes, like he's preparing for battle. Saying, citizens and travelers of Brylf, thank you for coming to our aid. We need you now in this time more than ever. I will lend my strength as much as I can, and let me cast the first blow. So he climbs up on top of a guard tower, and he begins channeling a spell. The orcs are getting closer and closer. They're now about 500 yards out, and he's continually channeling. You guys can see that there's like sparks coming from his fingertips as his like just the air around him begins to kind of start to precipitate almost, and in an instant an enormous fireball manifests in between the two of his hands, and he casts it down at the orc army, taking out a large portion of their regiments. It explodes in the middle and just cascades, killing dozens and dozens of orcs, just kind of turning them into ash.
Neat. Mayor's badass.
Yeah, he then falls over and faints.
Austin, I'm going to run
Whoops.
to the cellar of the rapier.
Okay. He's pretty much packing his shit up.
Okay.
He's like, we gotta get out of here!
I say, I need that rapier. I'm sorry. That was really bad. I need that rapier. I'll pay you 150 right now and give you mine if you let me keep that.
Take it! And he just accepts the trade. And
Done.
he throws it at you. And he dips the fuck out.
That's shrewd business sense.
Yeah. I'm glad Jessamine was our priority straight.
Yeah.
Got an eye for deals.
I'm gonna be firing my longbow.
Alright, you and also the rest of the town guard and militia are firing their longbows kind of into the orc fray. There's somebody commanding the militia, telling you guys when to knock, aim, and fire, and you guys are kind of doing that all in one.
Cool.
If you want to make an attack roll, I can tell you if you hit somebody.
Yeah, I figure out about
How
long
far
range,
away are the orcs?
so I'm at disadvantage.
Yeah.
So I rolled twice. I got 9
How
on both.
far away are the orcs?
600 feet for a longbow. Holy crap.
Probably somewhere around 600 feet.
They're now about 300 yards away,
Oh,
so about 900 feet.
then never mind. I'm not firing, I guess.
You're not even gonna try.
Well, my bow can't. I know that I can't hit them at this range.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna not.
Alright.
I am, however, gonna look around for a shield.
Shield?
Yeah, like, do the other archers like have shields around them?
Some of the militiamen
Or-
have like their own shields, but they're like, you know, assorted like bucklers or heaters.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
like it's
Does
just their own personal stuff.
Okay. This town doesn't have
Am
like a
I
town
able
guard.
to find a bow anywhere?
I mean, most of the like people selling shit have pretty much like gathered up their wares at this point and left, fear of dying or being looted by people who are trying to, you know, defend themselves. There's you could maybe see if you can inquire about like an armory. You guys might be able to find something.
Well, since there's all these people sort of like just getting ready and getting battlements up, is there just sort of one laying around? Can I make like a perception check or something?
I mean,
Or would there not be one?
let me see. Let me roll something. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a shield on the ground.
No, I meant like a bow.
Oh, a bow? Well, there's a shield on the
Yeah.
ground, John.
Cool. I can take the shield. What kind of shield is it?
That's a buckler.
All right, sick. I'm gonna put that on.
All right. There is also a bow.
Oh, a short bow or long bow?
Roll again.
Crossbow or crossbow. Anything.
Or a hand crossbow. Or throwing daggers.
It is a longbow.
Okay, I'll take it.
Or throw or fucking repeating crossbow.
Nah.
Is there a balliste?
Are there catapults?
Eclipse. Austin, you get my message?
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Sorry.
Check that.
Is it the one that everybody got?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a different one. I'm sorry. I apologize, Your Honor.
John, is the D10?
Longbow? A longbow is a D8.
Okay.
My bad.
So you guys have you guys are all readied up, all battled up. A lot of the orcs have been kind of picked off by the arrows. Some of the bigger meter ones have not been. They're now within range to where those of you with longbows can make ranged attacks against some of the orcs if you want to do so. Also,
Cool.
those of you who
I'll be
can
doing
cast
that.
spells at 600 feet can also make a spell attack.
I'd like to run to one of the militiamen and ask for arrows. Like, I need arrows, quick.
He just hands you a handful of them. His quiver.
So I just add 20 or
Like 8.
I just add handful to your amount.
add like 8 arrows.
okay.
Oh, right then.
You guys want to make any range attacks? Or?
Well, I rolled 2 already that were meant to be at disadvantage in long range, but then it was like, oh, but we're not actually at long range yet, so I guess.
Oh, and you rolled 2 9s?
2 9s. So
You don't manage to hit anything.
This range spell only reaches 120 feet.
Anthony, you also don't manage to hit anything. They are getting closer. More and more of them.
Again?
More and more of them are getting killed. Some of the wizards from the rest of the adventurers are casting some spells like fireballs, things like that.
Fireball.
Higher level spells into the crowd of orcs, and they're kind of just picking some of them off. The army is about half as strong as it was when they began their charge. They are at about 300 feet now. If you guys want to make another ranged attack roll.
I make my way
Okay.
back to the rest of the
Nice
party.
rolls. Jesus.
Wow.
Both
nice
of you
rolls.
hit.
Both people.
Dude, we killing.
I make my way over to Natsu, who doesn't have a bow.
I'm standing with whatever melee militiamen are nearby. If
All right.
I imagine there's some.
I stand like 15 feet away. Diagonal.
All right.
Like, if this is the main group of people, I'm like, boop. Kind of diagonal back.
John and Anthony roll damage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that just did another attack. Never mind.
Yeah, how do you click on the damage?
You
I
don't-
just you just roll it manually.
Yeah, actually, like, I made macros for all my damage because it's fucking crap.
That's weird.
There should
Yeah.
be an easy way to do it, but
There's an option to auto roll damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to turn that on.
that's probably the easy way
Where
to
is
do
that?
The cog, and then right underneath Whisper rolls to GM, which is underneath roll queries on the upper right. It's auto
There we
damage roll.
Yeah, cool.
I imagine that does what is needed.
it. Hopefully, yeah. All right, Rokir, you managed to pick off one of the orcs. Talus, your arrow sticks firmly inside the shoulder of one of them as it continues its blood-crazed charge.
Okay. As they start getting closer, I'm going to put my bow away, take out my, I guess my spear would make the most sense, and I'll have the spear and the shield, and I'm going to go get in the melee fighty group.
All right, the commander that is kind of overseeing you guys is looking at the melee units and saying, "Prepare to charge!"
I look up
Hey,
at...
Josh, where was that auto roll damage from?
Huh?
Oh, it's when you go to
Not
character
Josh,
sheet,
sorry.
this little cog button
on the
upper
character
right.
sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's the fourth one down. Third one down.
When the commander says, like, prepare to charge, I kind of look over at Talus and Natsu and kind of, like, shake my head. I'm like, nope, not charging. You can't make me. Nope. I'm staying right here.
I don't see you.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. He raises up his arm and says, "Charge!" The orcs are at about 150 feet now. The militiamen begin charging into combat.
I run with them.
How
John looks-
outnumbered are we? How
John
outnumbered
looks
are we?
distressed.
How dumb is this militia guy? How outnumbered are we?
You guys, you have like maybe at the beginning you had like maybe a quarter of forces. Now you have like half, if not a little more than half of the forces they have.
That's dumb as shit. Why are we leaving our choke point to charge a bigger enemy?
I don't think it's actually that much of a choke point.
It's just a wide open field.
Just
With a little
everybody
bit
take
of-
out 2 orcs
No, I mean
each.
the gate. Like if we held the gate as a choke point.
But it's like a fence gate, right?
It's like a wood fence, John. Yeah, they're just gonna run
It's
through
like
it.
disadvantageous terrain.
Yeah,
Orcs-
that's
orcs
something
respect
though.
fences, like in the lore.
Like I'd rather have disadvantageous terrain than just an open field.
But where's your glory?
We'll talk about it after this battle.
And also,
He'll
they
have
don't want the
glory
town
when
to
he
get destroyed.
rolls his half-orc warrior.
Man, if my character dies, I'm just gonna play as one of the orcs.
that
that'd be
fucking
fun.
slayed him.
So I'd
just
like to.
conscious travel.
There's actually a book like that. The
I like
entire
to-
book. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just saying I was like to sheath the bow and then pull out a spear.
Alrighty. Are you a part of the charge as well?
I'd like to stay back and cast Eldritch Blast like a little bit like behind the cast, like walk up with it.
Yeah. Go ahead and throw your Eldritch Blast. Getting close.
Okay. Or
And then, you see. That does hit. Let's go ahead and roll damage. Nice.
Force damage.
You knock one off of its feet, lands back in the snow. Okay. Everybody roll initiative.
Whee!
Here we go.
Click.
First initiative roll of the campaign, boys.
Whoops, that was the wrong tab. Whoops.
Where's
Oh,
the
this is
initiative
for
on
a
this
turn
character
tracker. Top
It doesn't work exactly correctly.
middle. It says no bad token was selected. If that means anything to you.
Mine works.
Whee!
Ooh.
Oh, Rook here. So sorry.
Baby!
Oh my god. Josh is on top of it, dude.
I've just
Alright.
been waiting for one of them to get within 120 feet of me.
Alright, Josh, go ahead and
they
act. Yeah, they are within 120 feet now, so.
Alright.
Mage hand.
I cast Chill Touch.
Mage hand.
Still touching.
Yeah, Mage just caress the cheek of one of the orcs that just stops dead in his tracks. Like, what the shit?
What is the range on 120 feet for chill touch, huh?
Yep.
That's odd.
That is super odd.
An
It's
odd
kind of
time.
like Mage Hand, but it's a skeletal hand.
I think it's because we come from 4th edition, where literally there are touch range spells all
Maybe.
the time.
You know,
Anyway.
this is Mage Hand with a skeleton's hand instead.
It's a frosty mage hand.
So
Go ahead.
spoopy.
Go ahead and
He just runs
cast
out.
it. Make a ranged spell attack against an orc.
Oh, I thought you gave the orc a name and Kush is calling him Dork.
Orc. Alright, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, 3 int. Naradasi's a smart boy.
Smarty boy. Yeah, smarty boy.
That's why he's a shrewd businessman.
I get a very Scrooge feeling from Nardasi.
Yes, I'll save your sister if you give me this book.
Wait, I'm a shrewd business person. We're getting attacked. I go by a
Alright,
rapier.
that's just 1d8. It's not the I don't get +5 from that, right?
Correct, because it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Ooh. Alright, you stroke one of the orcs and
The hand actually stays on him.
Oh!
Ooh.
Alright, you caress the cheek of one of the orcs and then grab it by the throat.
On hit, the target takes 1d8 necrotic damage, and it can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
Damn. Alright,
He
it's...
whispers harder.
It takes that damage, and it like is clawing at its neck trying to get the hand off, but it can't like touch it.
The skin where the hand touches turns black.
Nice. Yeah, that happens. Alright, so next. Let's hold that guy out. Next up are the orcs. So they charge and meet the charging army. Which one of you was a part of the charging?
Rich,
Hi.
they got a 20 on their initiative?
They did. Oh no, I'm sorry. They got a 19. My bad, John. All right, John, you can go next.
So am I charging into them right now?
Are you a part of the charging army, John?
Yeah, I guess.
Then that, yes, is the answer.
Where's our army's initiative?
You know,
All right, then I'm just gonna charge my spear into someone with the buckler up in front of me and just try and skewer him.
And pray.
okay. There. Go ahead and make an attack.
Oy.
Yep.
Bummer.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next up is them. So it's just Talus and Natsu are on the front lines right now.
Of player characters, yes.
Right.
Right, yeah, there's a militia there too.
Yeah. Not just
I
you
went
two.
first in initiative. That doesn't mean I solo charged.
Okay.
And they
It
surround
sounds like
you.
John,
Encirclement.
John says, "Everybody, hold back! I've got this." That's what I heard personally.
Hey guys, charging is a bad idea, he said, charging alone.
Okay. You guys both are gonna take attacks. So
Ah.
Yeah, well, I got a shield now, buddy, so...
That's true, so- you have +2 AC.
So they're... My AC is 18 now.
God damn.
Yeah. Shields are great.
Tanky boy. I wish
My
I had
first
an
thought
AC.
with this campaign was like, I need to go find a shield as soon as I can.
I wish I had an armor class.
There's a reason you have range of 120 feet, Josh.
On one spell.
That's all you need.
It's not a bad spell.
See, it's pretty good.
It does extra stuff against undead too.
Nice.
Fuck.
Richard, what's your AC?
15.
Okay.
More
that
than 9.
that one misses.
Oof.
John,
You kidding me right now, dude?
I'm sorry.
Alright, bring it, dude. I got 12 hit points. I'm living.
Oh boy. Okay.
Are you?
Just charge in and miss, immediately cut down.
Uh-huh.
D12?
Take 10 damage, John.
Alright, man. I didn't need those health points. They were holding me back.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
He could have easily one-shot you there.
Yeah.
Like without even his +3.
So the orcs attack. Your guys' army goes next. Some of the orcs in front of you guys get cut down.
Looking better.
Some of your guys' militiamen get cut down. Off in the distance, another fireball goes off, kind of in the middle, and it evaporates about 12 orcs. But it seems like more of them just kind of file in. However, their numbers are dwindling pretty significantly due to the combined efforts of the militia and the different adventurers. The next up in the initiative order should be Jessamine, I believe.
I'm going to not go charge because fuck that bullshit. I am a terrified bitch. And I'm going to run up and draw my short bow and fire. And I believe I get sneak attack, wouldn't I?
I mean, they don't see you, so yeah, they're pretty distracted.
They're busy
Wait.
clobbering me.
Oh, that's damage. That was damage. I'm sorry. 1 second.
1 second, please hold.
Okay, you hit. Yeah, you hit. And then 9 was your damage.
Yeah, that
Yep.
9 was my damage.
Okay, you managed to take out one of the orcs. Falls over dead.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to hide.
Good idea. All right. Next up is Natsu.
I assume you didn't want me to roll.
Yeah, you didn't really need to roll.
Okay.
You're like an archer shooting from back lines in a war.
I'm gonna try and vial. Do you have a vial?
No, I do not.
Why would you lie to us?
If you're proficient in something, it just gives you that tool, and you can just click the button. Sorry, I got distracted.
I'm gonna fucking stab someone with the sword in my back.
Okay, go and make an attack roll.
Ha-cha-cha. Cha.
Ha-cha-cha.
No, I'm not.
Ninjato.
But
We ain't good at this.
No.
you guys are first level adventurers. It's,
In a war.
Yeah.
Forged in flame.
Why did any of you charge in?
Because we're good people.
Yeah.
There are higher level adventurers here.
All
Let
right,
them
we'll have
charge
this
first.
conversation later, Josh.
Yeah, that guy was casting fireball. He's at least level.
Yeah, somebody's casting fireball.
Yeah, there's a couple of strong boys
we're
here.
not the ones that need to be taking the brunt of this attack.
I'm gonna use the momentum of that missed action to kick one of them in the chest.
Go ahead. Take your little monk actions.
I need to make thing for this later.
Yeah.
Fuck. What do I add?
It's just your unarmed. You just do your unarmed attack.
Yeah.
Right. I should have that. On
Does
a
it
thing.
not generate one for you if you're a monk? That seems.
Well, I
weird.
didn't do the character mancer thing.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it'd be plus. Do I get proficiency with my? Yeah, it's a monk. What?
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. Plus this. Okay, fine. That's cool. Whatever.
Well, you
Yeah,
flailed around. You did good.
You look cool doing it?
Yeah, he looked fucking badass, but he missed. All right, Anthony.
So I'm sort of like, how far away am I from the front line?
How far away are you from the?
Well, I didn't go charging up with them behind while casting Eldritch Blast.
So probably like, I don't know, 50 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I just walk up more, and then I throw out another. Do I see like a group of them, sort of like maybe like 2 or 3 of them, sort of grouped up?
Yeah, there's an army of them.
Okay, I walk up to a small group, and then I do fire breath.
Nice. Choice use of fire breath. Go ahead and it's a save, right?
Yeah, they must make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving throw. So let's say there's like what is it? It's a cone and how many feet?
15-foot cone, and they have to beat 12.
So that's 6 orcs then. Okay. So slash 60. 20. So 2 of them save, 4 of them do not.
Okay, so the ones who fail take 7 damage. The ones who succeed take half damage.
Okay, the ones who failed are burnt to a crisp and kind of writhe around on the ground and die. The ones that don't fail are they like shed the armor that's like burning. They like kind of stamp out the parts that are burning on their skin and then get back into a battle stance and are now quite upset with you.
I just give out a roar and a check.
Nice. All right, next up is what's up?
Booyah.
Nice. They are they wet themselves a little bit. All right, Josh, up next.
How close are they now?
They've been holding pretty much the same ground. In fact, they're being driven back a little bit by the army.
I want to scan the area for somebody that matches the description of the secretary's sister.
Make a perception check.
Josh knows where it's at.
You can't seem to make anybody out.
Can't use my passive perception.
No, it's not adequate to pass this.
All right.
Also, you need time to do that, which combat rounds are 6 seconds. So
Gotcha. Okay. Then I will have to check again later. If the orcs are being driven back already, then they're probably just barely in range of me using Chill Touch again.
okay, do you want to do that on the same orc that you touched last time?
Yeah, this poor guy.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do
It's
that.
so cold.
Make a spell attack.
Get this fucking hand off me!
Go ahead and make a ranged spell attack.
Ooh.
All right. The hand that was gripping his throat kind of just dissipates, and he is filled with renewed vigor. Unfortunately. All right. Next up is Talus.
Talus is dead. Long live Talus.
Talus. John. Oh, rip. Okay.
Jan?
Are you there?
What
John?
happened?
It's your turn.
Oh, shit. Okay. So the army's still in front of me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. What happened to me?
You were like cleaved by a great axe from an
Whoops.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of like stagger back away from the front line,
probably a good choice.
disengage, and then
Okay.
pretty much just like back the fuck up.
Okay, tactical retreat. I like that.
Yeah, just like bloodied and gasping. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Next up is
Yeah.
the orcs. Natsu, you're still on the front line.
Yep.
All right, you're going to get attacked by an orc. That will hit you, given its bonus, which I'm not going to disclose at this time.
Sure.
You will take 9 damage.
Knocked out.
Oof.
Wait,
I forgot you guys are all really, really squishy.
Richard,
We ain't
doesn't
living,
the
boys.
monk have a D8?
Yeah. I don't have a constitution bonus.
Oh no! All right, Richard, you are knocked down. One of the people in the army kind of grabs you and drags you off of the front line, back to behind the fighting, so that you can, that space can be occupied by able-bodied soldiers.
Mhm.
The army goes. You guys. Those of you who are still up see another huge fireball rip through the air and land in the middle of the orcs. And you can see that the mayor had actually gotten back up and cast another enormous fireball.
Faint again.
He did. He did faint again. Yes. So that came ripping through the air, and it blew away, another couple dozens of orcs. There's a large orc in the back of the army that appears to be their commander. It is sort of shouting things in Orcish. Do any of you speak Orcish?
Yep.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Who just left?
Sweet goblin.
Anthony just left. Check his character sheet. Sure. Anthony. Anthony. He doesn't speak Orcish. Alright, good to know. Okay. So yeah, one of the commanders in the back is shouting in Orcish. And then it looks like the orcs are kind of like looking around, and it looks like they might be starting to engage in a retreat. Next is, I believe, Jeremy. You're up.
How far are they?
They have now they've been pushed back about 50 feet where the original front line was.
Are they within the? Is it 80 feet or 80 yards for the bow?
Feet.
Great. Then I'm
So,
gonna shoot with.
I don't know where you're. Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Okay, you hit. Oh, just kidding.
No,
All right, you hit.
I do.
All right.
I don't like that.
Roll that damage.
And I assume it's a sneak attack again.
Yeah. Nice. You hit one in the back of the head as it's running away, and it falls down dead. Okay. Next is
I
Richard?
also do my normal hide.
okay. Richard. Hey. We not dying, baby. Anthony.
It's not currently in Roll20.
Anthony, are you here? Bummerino. Alright, we're gonna skip him for right now because we're running out of time. So at the top of the initiative is Josh.
I'm gonna scan the area again.
Okay. As you look around, you actually see a couple of the straggling orcs that are not a part of like the main army bulk coming towards you. They're kind of trying to run out into the back lines and try to pick people off.
Okay, how close are they?
About 60 feet.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna use one of my spell slots here. I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness
Okay.
on one of these orcs.
Nice.
That will be
Now
2d8.
he's got some sweet bling. It's been working out, bro.
It'll be 2d8, and they also have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So hitting one of them. So go ahead and go. Okay.
That's 11 poison damage.
Okay. Constitution save. Saves.
Okay, so they will not remain poisoned is the only thing.
Okay. The one you hit with the ray is dead. So he's going to remain poisoned with the ultimate poison. That
Poisoned to death.
Yes. The other one is charging towards you. Next up, we'll do John.
Okay, now I'm moving towards the back. If I look around to kind of appraise how the battle's going, might I see an unconscious Natsu?
May I perhaps happen upon? Yeah, I mean, you had like taken off before he dropped, so you kind of saw people like
dragging people from the front lines, and if you were looking for someone being dragged, you could see him. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not on the front line anymore, I'm going to look around just to kind of see what's going on, try and understand what's happening.
Yeah.
If I see Natsu on the ground, I'm going to try and grab him and get him away from the front line.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that then.
Okay. Do I need to do something for that?
No, I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
You're going to move at like half speed because you're dragging something. But
That's fine. I just rather not have a party member get trampled by orcs in the first session.
Yeah, that'd be nice to not have them die. All right. So the orcs now, they're going to be they were in sort of a tactical retreat, kind of listening to their orders. But all at once, those of you who are looking at the battlefield can kind of see them begin an all-out retreat. Some of them even drop their weapons and begin sprinting back towards the mountains. Over the sounds of like clamoring battle, you guys can hear an incredibly loud, deep rumbling coming from above you. Some of the orcs that couldn't run away are now trying to desperately crawl towards the mountains, towards the Savage Heights. Next up. Next up is Jeremy.
I'm going to look around and see what that massive rumbling is.
Jeremy, you look around. You don't see a whole lot, just kind of like on the ground level. However, above you, there are 3 twinkling green figures in the sky.
Great. I run and jump.
Okay.
I basically make it so I'm like in the inside of a building, like where I can see out, but I am under a roof. Put it that way.
Good.
And
right.
If I see Talus and Natsu or Anthony's character, I kind of like yell for them to come over this way, to hide. Because it looks like there's something above us. Probably dragons.
Alright, next up is Natsu. Oof.
That was
we won less living. Alright, Anthony, are you here? Going once. Going twice. Alright. Josh?
You said there's 3 lights in the sky?
3 twinkling green figures.
3 twinkling green figures.
They are getting ever closer. And the loud noise is emanating from them.
Sorry for making that noise, Poof. I know that gets your attention. Is this something I could do insight?
So in this situation, I would say you have a couple options. You could roll perception. You could maybe roll nature or arcana to try and figure out what they are. But you probably want to roll.
I'll roll arcana.
Okay.
That is one of my higher skills.
Actually, let me reiterate. Because you haven't identified these things yet, perception would be only thing you could roll.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Getting the best perception rolls.
You can tell from how far away you are that they are 3 fairly large creatures. That they are like biological creatures. They're not constructs, and that they obviously are flying. You can't tell what's making them shimmer or what kind of creatures they are specifically.
Okay.
Next up is Talus.
There's no longer a battle raging around me, right? Like
The orcs that were there have begun to sprint back to the mountains.
Okay.
The remaining orcs are like crawling away towards the mountains, like the ones that were
right.
injured.
I'm gonna bend over Natsu. What's wrong with him?
He took a great axe slash to the chest, stomach region,
Oh,
the
same,
midsection.
dude.
I used to be an adventurer like you until I took a great axe to the chest.
Stomach area.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start putting pressure on wounds and, I guess like
Okay, sorry. Go on, John.
and I'm gonna like rip a piece of fabric off my cloak and like try and stop the bleeding as best I can.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a either a healing. What is it? Medicine.
Medicine.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll medicine. Check.
All right,
All right.
I got
you
you,
managed
buddy.
to stop the bleeding.
All right,
Yay.
and then I'm gonna look around for whatever's causing that god awful noise.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check to try and see. Oh, John, with your elven eyes, I mean your human eyes,
My human eyes,
you
Your
can
Italian
see
eyes.
my Italian eyes.
Italian eyes.
Bippity boppity, it's a demon. Also, for the record, we need to wrap up in a couple
Yeah,
minutes.
sorry.
Yeah.
We're gonna be done pretty much right now. So, with your eyes, your good perception check, you can see that the 3 figures that were glinting in the sky, especially as they've gotten closer, are indeed 3 very large roaring dragons covered.
God, they're coming for Rokir.
3 large green roaring
They're coming
dragons.
from Rokir.
Covered in what appear to be green gems of some kind, which are what are glinting on their skin.
Do I know anything about dragons?
Uh,
Like, this is a real bad thing.
They're scary as shit.
I mean, you know, dragons are not typically a good thing. At least in this area, you've probably never seen a dragon before.
Right. Yeah, that's not really my people's thing.
Yeah. However, these things are flying very fast, and you guys can kind of tell that they're actually not coming so low towards the village. They're maintaining an altitude, and they're actually flying back to beyond the Savage Heights, like behind the mountains.
Like south towards Arthwaite?
South towards Mistrand. Yeah.
Do I
Or
know of any
Arthwaite.
dragons that hang out in Mistrand? Like,
No, you've never heard of them before.
okay.
Sorry,
Well-
what did I miss?
If they're not coming here, I'm just gonna focus on Natsu and making sure there's no one like near us attacking us or anything. If Natsu seems in good condition, I'm gonna go and try and help anyone else who's wounded.
Okay. All right. Unless there's anything anybody else wants to do specifically before we end, I think that would probably be a good place to call it for.
Cool. Could I ask that we?
So, 3 dragons showed up and the orcs were retreating?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's basically it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Could I ask that we
Did
have
they
like
say
a
anything?
summary of the session for Hans?
Yeah.
And because like some of us were having kind of spotty connection at times, just to like so
I'll
we're
get
all on
that,
the same page.
And then I'll get your next meet.
Yes, that's good. Also, I have a recording of it that I'm going to post, so if you want to watch it, you can. If you don't,
For sure.
a summary is just as good.
Right. I'm just thinking because
Yes,
watching it is
no,
really good, but it's also
I-
4 hours long. So
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm there.
And in reality, not too much really happened. So
Right.
it wouldn't be
First
too
2
hard
hours
to
were
summarize.
I was just
We're like, oh hey, is everybody awake? Are you
Right,
sure
and-
we're awake?
session 0 and
Yeah.
describing our characters and everything.
But yeah, cool. Thanks for playing,
Okay,
guys.
sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you for running, Austin.
Yeet.
We fought a battle, and I think we kind of won.
And 2 people almost
So-
died.
Somebody won.
Somebody wins.
Somebody won.
2 people almost died.
Good
Dude.
summary, Richard.
It was scary.
That's
Yeah.
that's pretty much how my games always go, huh, Josh? Somebody gets knocked out in the first battle,
Yeah.
almost always.
I feel like that happens a lot in 5e.
It's because you guys have no HP.
Yeah.
At
5e, you're
first
so little.
level, it's really easy to get knocked out.
That's why I disengage and run.
I forget. Is there a way to raise your base stats?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, as you level,
Yeah.
get
It's dependent on your class, but like 4 or 8 or 10 or 12 or something.
Hmm.
And you
And you
get
get
2 points.
+2.
Or a feat.
Or a
And
foot.
I can't wait for that day that I roll a character with 6 18s.
One day.
All right, guys, I gotta head out.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing, John.
Catch y'all later.
Talk to you.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat or something.
Kidoki.
Samesies. I'm going to
Drink
stop this
coffee.
recording.
Gonna probably take a shower, get dressed, play Monster Hunter till I have to go to work.
We did
I
it.
should probably brush my teeth.
Nice, nice.
John's not leaving.
I know,
Still
it's
on?
funny. It's funny to me. Oh, I think it's frozen. I think it's
It looks
frozen.
frozen.